Ghost Doctor's refining talent. Mu Qian nodded. Fine, I will listen to little uncle. But after I treat your legs you must explain everything to me then. Mu Wuxuang smiled. Good. Even his, M.W., own father hasn't found a way to treat his legs. Although her trust in Mu Qian is infinite, accepting it still requires time. So as long as Mu Qian doesn't involve herself further, Mu Wuxuang is alright dragging it, illness, longer. Mu Qian is still worried. Little uncle, are you sure you are okay now? Should we go back? I'm fine. Mu Wuxuang nodded. When they are about to set off, Zhou Yi suddenly reached out and stopped them. For the people inside the array, they have a clear look on what's happening outside, while the people outside had no idea what is the situation inside. Mu Qian tried to take a good look outside but saw a familiar figure trying hard to break the array she made instead. That person seems to be the Emperor of the Purple Moon, Xianyuan Li Ji. The Emperor can't find a way to break the array, so he directly launched a more forceful approach instead. The ground started to shake for a while. Mu Qian can't help but speak. Xianyuan Li Ji has the strength of a martial king, yet he didn't declare his achievement. He obviously had the ability and position. Why did he hide his strength and falsely appear as a 9th-grade martial master? Mu Wuxuang whispered to her. The royal family cannot be trusted. No matter what they say, don't believe them. Mu Wuxuang's pair of warm eyes suddenly turned cold while looking at Zhou Yi. In his eyes, Emperor Xianyuan and his family are all fakes. Mu Wuxuang won't let his niece suffer another grievance before meeting her father again. Zhou Ye's brows didn't move, he acted as if he didn't hear him, M.W. Mu Qian's mouth twitched, like what her uncle said. Zhou Yi is indeed a member of the royal family, but he is completely different with the emperor and his other sons. Another set of explosion appear outside the array. It seems the emperor is getting impatient as he tried to take a shot few more times. Mu Qian sneered. The Emperor of the Purple Moon Kingdom is really raring to go, huh? Once he gets through, I'm sure he won't waste any effort to kill us inside. It's finally time to let them know how strong our clan is. If he is so capable, he can try. In a flash, Mu Wuxuang's whole body is covered with vital energy fluctuating at a frightening speed. A flash of surprise appeared in Mu Qian's eyes. Little uncle. Your strength had breakthrough to the 3rd stage martial king. TN, okay, if you guys remember, author stated MW is at the 9th stage martial king in the previous chapters. Now, author confuses this tiny brain of mine that MW is at initial stage of martial king, turned to 3rd stage by MQ's elixir now. When he got his illness, especially in his eyes, his abilities also deteriorated, causing the drop on his cultivation. I always thought he was in the 9th stage, but I was apparently wrong. Maybe it will change again. IDK. I kinda missed this vital point while translating, sorry. Blame me for poor MTLQAQ. Mu Wuxuang let out a gentle smile, he said. Thanks to sheer curing my eyes, my strength suddenly restored to the 3rd stage. It's not an enhancement but a strength that is restored. It seems that Mu Qian's level is too low to see Mu Wuxuang's cultivation. Now Emperor Xianyuan and his men surrounded them outside. Once they go out, they will be easily found out and a slaughter will inevitably happen sooner or later. In Mu Qian's mind, taking care of the emperor is easy, yet this is not the right time. Zhou Yi saw the hesitation on Mu Qian's eyes. His voice is low, he said. Leave, I will take care of them. His figure instantly disappeared. At the top of the array, a guard shouted while trembling. The Night Prince. All of a sudden, a cold HEL fire slowly burned everything in sight. Upon turning their heads to flee, countless infernal skeletons welcomed them. The guard's heart felt cold. It really is true that curiosity killed the cat. If they knew that this strange phenomenon involves the evil star, they would never dare get near. Scram! Zhou Yi only spat one word. Emperor Xuanyuan's face was heavy. As a father he wanted to teach this good son a good lesson for him to be polite. But upon sensing his intense murderous intent, he did not dare to say anything nor tarry any longer. Retreat! Emperor Xianyuan quickly ordered. Even the father is scared by his son, there's no reason why these other people would stay here anymore. As expected, everyone quickly retreated. In the end, the forest became barren once again. Zhou Yi also disappeared. Mu Qian hastily said. Little uncle, they're gone. We should go back as well. Good. Back at home, everything was quiet. Mu Qian refined another elixir to turn back Mu Wushuang's eye to black. Although having heterochromatic eyes is beautiful, Mu Wushuang can't let anyone know about his silvery purple eyes. Uncle's recovery must not be spread out. Mu Qian reminded the shadows. Yes. Their strength is still far from enough. As of now, they aren't even an opponent of the number one sect in the Snow Continent, Cloud Sect. If the eldest daughter of the Cloud Sect's master came to know that Mu Wushuang's eyes are now healed, Mu Qian is certain that these people would come back and cause another trouble. At this time, Jun Mo, who did not want to live inside the Mu Jia, was assigned to live in the Ghost Doctor building instead. Mu Qian asked. Jun Mo, you have the ability to create a pill that can make a martial or spirit master to raise their level to king, right? Jun Mo spoke casually. Yes, but that is a 7th grade medicine pill. Refining it will not be easy for you. Mu Qian naturally knew this already. It's impossible for me but not for you. She smirked. Jun Mo exclaimed. Such a high-grade pill also has a high price, you know. Mu Qian held on to his weakness. How about letting you eat sumptuous meal in the best restaurant for a whole month? Would you do it? Jun Mo's dusty face suddenly blooms with a smile. Deal. Refining a 7th grade medicine pellet is not difficult for the medicine king Jun Mo. Soon the pill was made. Here you are. Don't forget your promise. Mu Qian asked. What is success rate of this? 50%. 50. Mu Qian started to fiddle with the pellet. 50% is already the best, you know. Other alchemists can only refine it with a success rate of 20 to 30%. What? You think it's easy to be an alchemist? Do you mind if I examine this pellet? I want to know if I could improve its success rate. Do you think it's easy to improve it just by examining it? Let me tell you this, over the years, this medicine pellet was already experimented countless times. Mu Qian did not listen to Jun Mo's nonsense, she left immediately with the pellet in her hand. Inside the Ghost Doctor building was a special laboratory. Mu Qian, after experimenting 3 times, finally succeeded and directly handed the finished product in front of Jun Mo. Your refined 7th grade medicine pellet taken together with my elixir had achieved a 70% success rate. Are you serious? Jun Mo hastily grabbed the pellet in Mu Qian's hand. Sure enough, with just one glance it made him beyond speechless. Even if there is no verification for this. How come you? This could actually work. You. Jun Mo's mouth is wide open, he shouted. You are simply a demon in terms of ability with medicine. He has always been known as a genius in the Jun clan, but in front of these LaS, he can see the big gap in their knowledge. Mu Qian added. This is only a prototype. In order for it to work, I still need to add something. In the Medicine King's eyes, a sly look was seen. He smiled. This girl is having a bad idea again. Jun Mo has been with Mu Qian for a while now. Plus he already experienced falling for her traps many times before. He's quite sure that her tenacity of being a black belly had reached the level of being crazy. That in our company sports fest last Wednesday, I sprained my left hand while playing volleyball. The noob me, QAQ, it's not that serious, it's just the doctor said I have to refrain from using my left hand for the meantime, at most 2 to 3 weeks. I will still update this novel, guys. Don't you worry. Besides, I can still use my right hand, which is my dominant hand. Thank God. Before we start, I would like to thank Stumblemer for the hot beverage. Thanks Red Heart. How have you been lately? Mu Qian once again changed her appearance to Tings and went towards the auction house. But she didn't expect that she could only see Master Bai. Master Bai told Mu Qian about Nalan Yu going back to their main headquarters. She couldn't help but ask. Nalan Yu is going back. The Purple Moon is too small compared to the main branch. He coming here is already strange, yet he stayed for too long. Master Bai saw Mu Qian being immersed by her own thoughts. He immediately changed the topic. Is there anything that I can help? Lord ordered this old man that as long you request something I must fulfill it. Mu Qian smiled. It's not that serious. I just need your help to auction a medicinal pellet for me. Master Bai froze. May Mu enlighten this old man? It's a 7th grade medicinal pellet. Such information made Master Bai's heart tremor. Is it a Huangluo pellet? Yes. Mu Qian let Master Bai examine the goods. Master Bai's eyes shine brightly, he exclaimed. It really is a Huangluo pellet. I never thought that in this life I could see one. Mu Qian added. This 7th grade medicinal pellet has a 50% success rate that can let a martial master at the peak of 9th stage breakthrough to martial or spirit king. Master Bai is shocked. 50%, that is on par with the medicine king, but in the whole snow continent, he thought there is no other person that can surpass the medicine king. Mu Qian took out another bottle, she said quickly. Add this too, it has 70% success rate. You can inform me when the auction will start. Let the people from all over the Purple Moon Kingdom know about this pellet. Lastly, make sure that only the citizens of this kingdom have the opportunity to bid. I will. Although Master Bai isn't sure why did Mu Qian set these conditions. He would surely perform this task well. Soon news of a 7th grade medicine pellet being auctioned was spread. Have you heard the news? It seems that the Snow Auction House will hold an auction later. I heard that there are 5 medicinal pellets that can rival a Huangluo pellet there. I knew this already, but probably this time only the Mu Jia has the money to buy those things. The man added. But Mu Jia's 3rd master already made his breakthrough to the peak of Martial King 3 years ago. Even if they had the money, would they still bet for it? That is uncertain. I heard from someone that the Qingguas clan is interested with the medicines. When a clan gets a single Huangluo pellet, there is a guarantee that a martial or spirit king would appear in their family. This is once-in-a-lifetime chance, no one would be willing to give it up. The auction has yet started, but the news was all over the place. In addition, the auction time haven't been announced yet. DAMN. Why did that auction house have to sell such a good stuff? Inside the palace, Emperor Xianyuan roared. He clenched his fist. That Huangluo pellet must be mine. If he can acquire that pill, Mu Wushuang, Mu Qian and even the Ouyang clan would surrender to his feet. Tian, that pill apparently can help break through someone to martial king, while for the cultivator who already reached MK or SK, their strength would reach its peak. I'm really not sure about this one. Even if he is the emperor, it doesn't mean that he could easily get it. When Mu Qian took her dowry back, the royal treasury had been empty since then. Emperor Xianyuan knew he can't fight with the Mu Jia or any other clan in terms of financial ability. Emperor Xianyuan's eyes flashed. As long as he wanted it, no one can stop him. When the news of the auction house spread, at this time an announcement of the Empress Dowager's 80th birthday also fell. The emperor can use this chance to fill the treasury with gifts. Tien, shameless emperor. Even the gift for her mother will be taken. Naturally, the total amount is not enough for the Huangluo pellet, hence, he also planned another strategy. In the Mu Jiao, Mu Wushuang asked softly. Sheer, this time would you want little uncle to accompany you in the palace? Although she won the last time she entered the palace, Mu Wushuang is sure that Emperor Xianyuan is already planning schemes for his niece. The risk at this time is not small. There is 100% chance that there is a trap awaiting for Mu Qian there. Mu Qian said. Little uncle, rest assured. The last time I took all of the emperor's wealth and swept all of his medicinal herbs. He must be nuts if he wanted to take a revenge on me again. The time to enter the palace is approaching. Yu Zhe has been waiting for Mu Qian at the palace's gate. This time it would be only the two of them attending. When Mu Qian entered the palace, the first one she saw was Ouyang Ju's carriage. Mu Qian lifted the curtain, smiled and waved. Ouyang Lord, how have you been lately? From the start, Ouyang Ju decided to ignore Mu Qian the whole time. But he didn't think that Mu Qian would be the one to start a conversation with him instead. The clan is at their deprived state, his younger son is a crippled, his younger brother was killed, how can he still stand up? This lord is fine, I will excuse myself first. Ouyang Ju said this word by word as if he wanted to tear Mu Qian to pieces. In that case, I won't disturb Lord Ouyang any longer. Hope you have a nice day. Mu Qian's carriage left immediately, leaving a blank Ouyang Ju behind. Fuck. Ouyang Ju almost broke his carriage with his fist. Don't be angry, father, Mu Qian can't do anything to use here. I and the princes won't let her do anything. Besides, Mu Wushuang isn't by her side again. No one can help her this time. Ouyang Ju nodded. Jier, it really is as you say. As long as we get the Huangluo pellet, we will rise again. At this time the entire Purple Moon Palace was resplendently decorated. For the Empress Dowager's 80th birthday, the event is held at the Xingning Hall. Today will be the day where everyone will wish for the Empress Dowager's long life so that the Purple Moon Kingdom would continue to grow and prosper. Many courtiers and Blee clan lords, as well as messengers from the neighboring kingdoms would be present. This can be considered as giving the Empress Dowager proper Tien. It simply means giving proper respect. This is a joyful celebration, yet the emperor is unhappy. In his eyes these people are all competing for the Huangluo pellet. Although the Empress Dowager's age reached 80 years old, she managed to keep her health very well. At most, she only looks 50 years old. She sat beside the emperor, with her kind face she really looks like an amiable grandmother. In the next moment, Ouyang Ju robbed Mu Qian of giving her present first, sending his gift towards the Empress Dowager in a steady manner. Ouyang Ju respectfully bowed and said, This humble servant offers a third-grade medicinal pill, wishing Empress live a long life. It turned out to be a third-grade medicinal pellet. They stared at the exquisite box. It seems that the Ouyang clan isn't as deprived as what the rumors says after all. In the Purple Moon's royal group of alchemists, only a second-grade pill can be refined. Ouyang Ju sending out a third-grade pill shows how generous he is. Ouyang Ju had no other way. If he wants to silence the Mu Jiao later, he can only please the royal family first. If he showed his sincerity and position, these will make the emperor see their value. Lord Ouyang is truly considerate. Empress Dowager's face was filled with joy. This longevity pill, no one would dislike this kind of gift, especially for an elder like her. All the people were surprised as well. This gift is beyond their capabilities. Someone in the crowd asked. What extravagant gift would Lord Mu give this time? I'm sure it would be a lot. Of course that will be the case. Mu Jia is the richest clan. What kind of precious pill haven't the lords seen yet? Typing this whole chapter using only one hand is truly a torture. By the way, can you guys guess what Mu Qian's gift would be? Hee hee. Emperor's Det Ouyang-ju made a provocative look towards Mu Qian. He believed that she could not come up with a more precious gift than what he gave earlier. Although her clan is not lacking in money, a third-grade medicine pill can't be bought that easily. Ouyang-ju's mocking was heard by everyone. Lord Mu, since your clan is more prosperous than mine, certainly your gift will be better, right? Mu Qian smiled. But of course. I assure you that my gift isn't inferior to yours. At the same time, Mu Qian took out a transparent GLA S bottle for the crowd to see. She announced. This is my gift to the Empress Dowager. This elixir was refined by Mu Qian. She then placed it in an unadorned vial. She went towards the front and offered her gift to the Empress Dowager. Everyone saw the little bottle and froze. Emperor Xianyuan looked annoyed by her gift. He couldn't help but speak aloud. This is the Empress Dowager's celebration. Stop this nonsense this instant. Even if Mu Qian could only give the Empress Dowager with millions of gold, Emperor Xianyuan wouldn't mind at all. Yet, he didn't expect that this DAMN girl would only offer a bottle of elixir. He couldn't keep his composure anymore. Mu Qian raised her eyebrow. She sneered. Nonsense. For the Empress Dowager's feast, would I dare fool around? Your Majesty might not know, but let me tell you that this elixir is a treasure. Humph. I only see plain water inside. What effect does it even have? Emperor Xianyuan frowned upon hearing Mu Qian's words. This is called rejuvenating water and was refined by the ghost doctor's alchemist himself. As soon as someone smeared this water to her face, her appearance would turn younger and smoother again. Emperor Xianyuan clenched his fist. The dragon's armrest are broken due to his force. He had already inquired about this certain alchemist. The medicines that were auctioned long ago by the Snow Auction House and the medicines that can be bought in the Ghost Doctor's building are very identical to each other. This mysterious alchemist apparently has a relationship to the Mu Jia. This person personally refined another precious medicine for Mu Qian in order to please the Empress Dowager on her birthday. Based on his generosity, it seems he had a deep relationship with the Lord, Mu Qian. Really? At this time, the Empress Dowager's eyes shone. At her age, although she is looking forward to extending her life, in the end she is still a woman. She searched for ways to make herself young and beautiful again. Mu Qian smiled and said. Yes, you may try it now to know the effects. Mu Qian handed the bottle to the Empress Dowager's attendant. Emperor Xianyuan said. Stay right here first. We'll see if this elixir of yours truly live up to its name. Not long after applying it, an unparalleled joy blooms from the Empress Dowager's face. In this birthday feast, Mu Qian and Yuzhe sat in their own position to eat and drink leisurely. When the feast is about to end, Emperor Xianyuan looked at Mu Qian. He suddenly said. Shen has something to ask of you. Everyone felt awkward by the Emperor's sudden remark. As the ruler of the Purple Moon Kingdom, they could easily guess what this request would be. But knowing is different from seeing. If they were in the Emperor's shoes, they would probably do the same. Who let the Mu Jia have more money than the royal family? Mu Qian looked at the Emperor and asked. May His Majesty enlighten this lord, what help do you need exactly? Emperor Xianyuan quit beating around the bush. He spoke calmly. The #1 auction house released news recently. In 3 days, they will auction the Huanglu pill. Nowadays, most of the funds in the treasury have been used to replenish military funds. In order to get the 7th grade medicine pill, my funds are still not enough. I hope you can help me on this matter. Tian lies. All the people are stunned. They didn't think that His Majesty would really borrow money from the Mujia's lord to buy the Huangluo pellet. However, the Emperor's strength isn't at the peak of martial master yet. He obviously doesn't need this pill, so why bother losing his face and continue to borrow money from the Mujia? Mu Qian said. The Huangluo pellet only had an effect to people at the peak of martial and spirit master. Why do you want to get it? Emperor Xianyuan already guessed that she would ask this. He spoke naturally. The Crown Prince's cultivation is high, and I'm sure that he would reach the peak of spirit master within 10 years. This Huangluo pellet, I am preparing it for my son. I don't know if I would have the chance to get it after the auction, so I must get it this time. The poor parents, hearing the emperor's words, did not expect that he would do it for his son. Xianyuan Li Shang looked away from his father. He knew exactly what's going on in his mind. A selfish person like the emperor wouldn't do that for him. Li Shang knew the emperor did it all for himself because he wants to reach the peak of the martial king. Lord Mu, Third Master Mu, is already suffering from his old disease. Even if there is a Huangluo pellet, it would not benefit him in any way. Please support His Majesty. This time, many ministers pleaded to Mu Qian. Wow, shameless emperor plus shameless ministers equals kingdoms fall. Sorry for the late update, I kinda messed up the schedule, huh? My left hand is fine now. I can move it, but the doctor forbids me to lift heavy things, which I rarely do. Thank you for wishing me a good health. You're all so sweet, Red Heart. By the way, what do you think Mu Qian will ask to the emperor if she really let him borrow her money? Spoiler T.I. at the bottom. That's right. For more than a decade His Majesty has always been good to you. Now is the time for you to lend a hand. These people, one by one, said some good things about the emperor. Especially those who are on the side of the Crown Prince. They didn't think it is shameful to borrow money since it will be all for the sake of the Crown Prince. The messengers from the neighboring kingdoms were perplexed by this scene. They did not think that aside from the emperor even his ministers were all shameless to this degree. In order to get the Huangluo pellet, even if it is the Empress Dowager's birthday, it wouldn't stop them from asking money from a certain lady. In the eyes of these messengers, these people are out of their minds. For them, they could never do such a thing. Mu Qian have already guessed that Emperor Xianyuan would borrow money from her. However, she didn't think his courage would reach the highest height and would ask on the Empress Dowager's feast, more so in front of these many people. Did this old man never think of losing his face? Afterwards, His Highness the Crown Prince also showed his sincerity with his father. He stood up and spoke in a genial manner. Father, I have been admiring Lord Mu for a long time, asking father to grant us marriage. If Mu Qian she become his princess consort, then the whole royal family will receive a lot of wealth which they would take for granted. At the same time, the Empress Dowager looked at Xianyuan Li Shang and Mu Qian. A warm smile appeared on her face. A perfect match, really a perfect match to each other. Your Highness, the woman sitting beside the Crown Prince bit her lip. Her heart feels like it has been stabbed by a knife. Seeing his beloved woman in pain, Xianyuan Li Shang was also distressed. Although he was very disgusted by this type of woman, MQ, he must get this marriage no matter what. Mu Qian was daring enough to not put this prince in her eyes. She also made him lose so badly in their previous match. Nevertheless, the benefits that the Crown Prince could get once they're betrothed are surely a lot. Not only she is rich, but her cultivation and talent is also top-notch. This would be a win-win situation no matter where you look. What? Xianyuan Li Tian broke the cup in his hand, leaving the broken pieces on the ground. In his eyes was rage as he looked at Xianyuan Li Shang. He did not expect that his older brother would ask this kind of thing in front of their respected father. Even though his engagement with Mu Qian is gone, he believed no one would ask for her hand due to her vile attitude. An inexplicable anger rushed up to his head. He also stood up and loudly declared, "Father, I also have feeling for Mu Qian. May Father grant this prince a marriage with her once again." Tian, lol. Brotherly Tian. Mu Ruyun's face is pale and her eyes lose its shine. How can this be? Everyone is stunned and felt awkward by this development. Mu Qian once stalked the seventh prince and persisted on asking the emperor to bestow her imperial edict that could let her be Xianyuan Li Tian's legitimate wife. This had been going on for 3 years, yet the prince never paid attention to her until she decided to break the engagement herself. However, they did not expect that this prince would ask their marriage this time. He stood up and boldly asked the emperor for his blessing. This 2 brothers are fighting for a woman. On the other hand, the Purple Moon Emperor was in a state of confusion as well. In order to raise a huge sum, which son would be sold is floating in his mind. Tian, I have no words for this man. These 2 children. The Empress Dowager made a hearty laugh. She smiled towards Mu Qian and spoke softly. Child, these 2 are very good. You can choose one among them, you are about to be an adult. I'm sure your uncle won't mind. The Empress Dowager isn't partial. Inside the imperial harem she knew that this child, MQ, will be a perfect match to the future emperor. But no one expected that Mu Qian, as she slowly stood up, would say, I won't choose among these 2. I would never pick anyone here. All the people were shocked and stunned. She dare speak arrogant words of refusing a monarch in front of the guests. She didn't bother to look at the 2 princes and only speak her thoughts. Emperor Xuanyuan's palm broke the table. He roared. Mu Qian, you are too arrogant. Tian'er and Shang'er wanted to marry you. It's your great blessing, yet you dare refuse. Mu Qian raised her brow and said, It seems that His Majesty forgot what I said long ago. In order for someone to be my man, he should possess my 2 requirements. If he lack one, then he isn't suitable at all. Not just the Mu Jia's door, I won't let that person enter the Mu Jia's windows either. The young lady in exquisite purple dress stood proudly and bravely voiced her opinion on this matter. The messengers from the Qin kingdom were excited by these events. I never knew that there could be a woman of this caliber here in this small kingdom. How come we haven't heard of her name before? Emperor Xuanyuan's face is heavy, filled with uncertainty that he could provide a son matching her 2 requirements. The first one is that person must be stronger than her. The second one is that there must be no other woman. Emperor Xianyuan glanced at Xianyuan Qingyun, who was aware of everything. Qingyun has always been clean and upright, but he did not qualify on the second condition. His strength is not as good as the crown prince, leaving him out of his options. Suddenly a person flashed on his mind. Emperor Xuanyuan's eyes shone at Mu Qian's direction. Emperor Xianyuan coldly said, Mu Qian shouldn't have picked a person in line with your standards. If you refuse again, you are clearly disobeying Zhen. Even Mu Wushuang won't easily protect you. Think about this carefully. Eunuch Gao. Prepare, as I will write a decree. On the Empress Dowager's feast, Emperor Xianyuan directly wrote an imperial edict clearly selling one of his sons to Mu Qian. Soon the edict was finished. Eunuch Gao solemnly said, Mu Fingyun's daughter, Mu Qian, today the Emperor of the Purple Moon Kingdom bestow you a marriage with his 9th son, Xianyuan Zhouyi. You may choose the day to marry. Come forward and receive this decree. Exclamation point. After listening to the eunuch's words, the crowd was speechless. Almost everyone's expressions cannot be described. Your Majesty. Your Majesty, you. Why did you arrange her with that evil star? The Empress Dowager's words were filled with anger. Mu Qian also froze. She never thought that this old man still had this trick. Mu Qian coldly said, Your Majesty, if the Night Prince came to know of this matter, aren't you afraid of making the Night Prince unhappy? Emperor Xianyuan scoffed. I'm his parent, of course he would listen. I also believed that you're close enough to Jiu Yi. I'm sure he won't mind. Everyone twitched from the emperor's remarks. Not long ago, His Highness was seen with a pretty boy at a flower house. The news of him being a cut sleeve was spread within the Purple Moon Kingdom. They're sure that the emperor is also aware of this, yet he's still done it anyway. Mu Qian is a woman. Will the Night Prince really like her? The emperor is really getting more and more brazen in their eyes. If the Night Prince came to know about their engagement, he would probably take this woman's life the next day, right? If the guest's thought is already like this, then in the emperor's mind it's also the same. Upon hearing this decree, Jiu Yi would surely kill Mu Qian. Xianyuan Jiu Yi can easily kill Mu Qian Shi. Even with Mu Wushuang's strength, he is no match to the Ninth Prince. Hitting two birds with one stone and the other bird is surely finished. When that time comes, all of the Mu Jia's properties would fall directly to her fiancé. He can buy any precious medicine he wants, what's more a 7th-grade medicine pill. Mu Qian clenched her fists. In the previous feast she won from the emperor's schemes. Yet this trap had successfully laid out for her today. If she refuses, she and her clan will hold the crime of disobeying the emperor that may cause the death of their 9 generations. Since he did not hear any objections from Mu Qian Shi, the emperor finally lowered his vigilance. However, Xianyuan Li Tian boldly said, Father Emperor, I want to marry her. Please take back your decree. Don't let her marry the 9th Prince. Engagement to the Night Prince. This chapter is the key to Jiu Ye's happiness. Important things must be said thrice. Congratulations Jiu Yi. Congratulations Jiu Yi. Congratulations Jiu Yi. Hope Mu Wushuang won't go berserk with this news. Ha ha ha. Unmarried couple Xianyuan Li Tian is not clear on what he feels about Mu Qian, but when he heard that she would be wed to someone, he was angry and sad at the same time. Tian, to XLT, never regret anything because at one time it was exactly what you wanted. Emperor Xianyuan is truly annoyed by this son's incompetence these past months, he shouted. You shut up. This matter is settled. Things were about to move the way he really wanted. The emperor won't let his son ruin this perfect plan to kill the entire Mu Jia using Jiu Yi. Your Majesty, Yu Zhe stood up. He did not want his leader to be caught in the emperor's trap. In addition, he did not want her to marry that Xianyuan Jiu Yi at all. Call it selfishness, but that's what he truly feels inside. His words did not yet finish, when Mu Qian interjected. Yu Zhe, we will withdraw. Leader. Stand back. Don't say anything. Mu Qian coldly said. Yu Zhe felt angry but he can only retreat. Mu Qian composed herself and looked up at the emperor. Your Majesty, what will happen if I refuse? Emperor Xianyuan smirked. You have raised 2 conditions in front of Zhen, and Jiu Yi is the perfect fit. If you still dare refuse, you declare challenging this royal family. Mu Qian probably did not think things would end like this. Her 2 strict conditions were finally met by one of the emperor's sons. How naive was she before to miss this detail? She forgot that this kind of shameless emperor is indeed Jiu Ye's father by blood. Once this idea pops in his mind, Emperor Xianyuan found a good chance to wipe out her clan. Even if her little uncle is now at the third stage of martial king, she doesn't want to make a sudden mistake. The stable life of Mu Jia was disrupted once again by the royal family. Besides, this is only a marriage contract. The next step would be still in Jiu Ye's hands. It isn't impossible to her to talk Jiu Ye regarding this matter. Mu Qian's mood suddenly turned better. She will let the emperor be proud of this accomplishment for a while. When the time comes, she would make him cry blood. Mu Qian looked at the emperor straight in the eyes and smiled. This blessing from the emperor, I'm fine with it. Emperor Xianyuan let out a laugh. Good. Eunuch Gao sent the decree to Mu Qian's hands. Although Xianyuan Li Shang was flatly rejected by Mu Qian in front of many guests and had lose some face, his mood is definitely better. He held Mu Rian's hand and speaks softly. Yener, I will always love you and only you alone. In the present and the future, I only love you. Your Highness, why are you so good to me? Mu Rian was moved by his words. Tian, you. I rather read Jiu Ye's cold remarks than this. Blag. On the other hand, Xianyuan Li Tian is extremely irritated and can't wait to rush towards Mu Qian and shred the decree on her hands to pieces. Mu Qian muttered to herself. The emperor's edict was only said a while ago, he already knew this. Isn't this too fast? Jiu Ye, you shouldn't take this marriage edict seriously. This isn't the first time the emperor tried to sell his son. TSK. This is the first time I came to know an emperor with this caliber. While saying these words, Mu Qian already held the edict in her hands, ready to burn it any minute. But her arm was held up by Jiu Ye. Don't burn it. I am your fiancé from now on. Icy blue eyes focused on Mu Qian Shi. Mu Qian was startled, she seems confused. You want to marry me? Jiu Ye, you don't have to listen to that man. I know you don't want this. Although Jiu Ye helped her many times already and never tried to hurt her, marriage is definitely a topic that never floated in her mind even in her previous life. Mu Qian felt a sudden stir of emotion inside when the word marriage left from Jiu Ye's mouth. That nightmare, the nightmare she had long forgotten, will emerge once again. Mu Qian's eyes were deep, compared to Jiu Ye's gaze hers is obviously filled with fear. No. Jiu Ye said. The emperor isn't qualified to order Jiu Ye around, asking Jiu Ye to be obedient is also impossible. No matter who the emperor ties to Jiu Ye has the final word. Then why? In Mu Qian's eyes, a flash of doubt was seen. If you become my fiancé, then no one will dare to touch you. He solemnly said. It turns out that Jiu Ye is trying to change his way to protect her. Mu Qian let out a sigh. Since there is no way I can cancel this marriage, having the Night Prince to be my fiancé in my opinion should be that bad. She let out a smile. Jiu Ye, please take care of me then. Although Mu Qian tried to say it in a joking manner, Jiu Ye didn't care. She already admitted that she is willing to be his fiancé. Jiu Ye's mood had risen and he made a slight nod. My fiancé, I will take good care of you. Mu Qian changed the topic, she asked. By the way, Jiu Ye, why are you here at this hour? Is there something you want to talk about? No, Benjun just heard the news, so I decided to come here. Today. I was tricked by that old fox. In the future, I will retaliate against him in a brutal and inhumane way. Will it affect you? Mu Qian asked. If it wasn't for the emperor's marriage decree, she would without doubt forget that Jiu Ye is that old fox's son. Hey guys. Sorry for the delay. Regarding on my theft issues on other sites and Wattpad, I'm still working on it. The Wattpad versions were now deleted/removed thanks to your support. Anyways, hope you enjoyed Jiu Ye's reaction on his marriage as much as I do. He. Watching together, I have nothing to do with him. In the royal family, except for Xianyuan Qingyun, I have no qualms on which you have to kill. I have no ties with them. Jiu Ye coldly said. It seems that in his eyes, the lives of those people have no value to him. Mu Qian nodded. All right. As for Xianyuan Qingyun, it seems that in her memories this prince didn't do anything bad to the former Mu Qian. There was no grievance at all. Unexpectedly, the Night Prince who is always indifferent with everyone specifically mentioned his name. That was quite an amazing feat indeed. In what way does Qingyun is special? After their chat, Mu Qian is confused why Jiu Yi is still here. She yawned and stretches out her arms. Jiu Yi, I'm a little tired today. I have to excuse myself first. Although he confirmed, Jiu Yi didn't seem to get her meaning. Mu Qian's mouth cannot help but twitch. She said. You can help yourself then. Don't say I'm treating you unfairly later, okay? Jiu Yi, even from before and now seems to disregard to act as a guest. Since Mu Qian dare not treat him lightly as a guest either. She trotted her way back to her room and leave him be. After confirming that she's asleep, Jiu Yi finally made his way. Jiu Yi came back at this palace. Housekeeper Bai hurriedly went to find him. He slowly approached and asked. Master, the palace sent an imperial decree. How should we deal with this? Keep it. Yes. Men evil creature. He even killed my men. That brat surely doesn't put me in his eyes. Emperor Xianyuan screamed violently inside the palace. The eunuch and guards he ordered to send to the knight's palace were all killed. Eunuch Gao tried to calm him down. Your Majesty, it shows that the Night Prince is clearly dissatisfied with this marriage. Since he cannot move you, the prince would surely kill Mu Qianxi. I really hope that tomorrow, I will hear Mu Qianxi's death. Emperor Xianyuan coldly shouted. The emperor dreamed about Jiu Yi turning his fiancée into a skeleton that very night. But contrary to his expectations, Jiu Yi not only did visit Mu Qian but also accompanied her till she sleep. There was no movement at both sides. The next day, the emperor did not hear the news he wanted to hear. His head was filled with confusion. How could this be? He didn't kill her. Your Majesty, the Mu Jia sent their people. Let them in. Naturally, the Mu Jia sent people to send Mu Qian's dowry after the receiving the plea of the spiritual mind bestowed by the emperor. Mu Qian took the deed from one of her servants and ordered outside. Send the people to the mine. The so-called spiritual mine is filled with a certain kind of jade that is filled with spiritual energy. Spirit masters can easily absorb the spiritual energy inside the jade, which is much faster than cultivating normally. But spiritual mines were very rare. Even in the snow continent there aren't many. In the Purple Moon Kingdom, this is the only spiritual mine. In fact, the quality of the jades aren't that good either. This servant obeys. The 3 days pass, said by, the auction for the 7th grade medicinal pellet, Wang Luo pellet is about to begin. This auction will be very exciting. Of course, Mu Qian wouldn't miss the fun. Therefore, Mu Qian changed her appearance once and again and went to the number 1 auction house. Mu Gongzi, you finally arrived. We already prepared your box. Come this way. When Mu Qian came, Master Bai came to greet her first. Sure. Lead the way. When Mu Qian opened the door, she only found out that the cold Ashura is sitting inside already. Master Bai was shocked. He didn't expect to see another person here. Night Prince, how come you? When his eyes met that pair of icy blue eyes, he suddenly couldn't speak. Mu Qian sighed and accepted her fate. She waved her hands. Master Bai, it's fine. Zhou Yi is my friend. You go first, I'm sure you're busy. The frozen Master Bai started to sweat. Mu Qian's words undoubtedly freed him. He made a bow and said, Then, please excuse me for now. Mu Qian walked in and asked casually. Zhou Yi, if I remember. Isn't your box next door? You're here, so I came here. Zhou Yi faintly said. Zhou Yi looked at her and said. Why? Are you driving me away? Since you're here now, how could I drive you away? Anyways, today there is a good show. Watching with someone would be more exciting than having to watch it by myself. Don't you think so? She smiled lightly. The auction is about to begin. This time the one presiding is still the chief auctioneer, Kai Xian. She made a charming smile and spoke. Today is definitely the most exciting auction since the auction house was built. For today, there is only one thing that is up for auction. I'm sure everyone here knows what it is. That would be the 7th grade, Huang Luo pellet. And that's not all. The success rate of this pellet is 70%. If a martial or spirit master eats this, he would have a 70% success rate to break through to the martial or spirit king. In order to attract the people's attention, the auction house only mentions its name. When they heard the 70% success rate, in the next moment, everyone was boiling with excitement. 70% awe. Even in the snow continent, there is no alchemist that can refine a Huang Luo pellet with that high of a success rate. The 7th grade medicinal pellet, they must have it no matter what. Kai Xian laughed. The price for this Huang Luo pellet isn't limited. Every increase on its price is also not limited. The auction shall start now. Her words had just fallen, yet a clear voice came. 10 million. The speaker came from the Xianyuan royal family's box. Other than that, he is also the ruler of this kingdom, Emperor Xianyuan himself. After all, most of the citizens already know that His Majesty is doing this personally for the sake of his son, the Crown Prince. 11 million. After the Emperor's bid, Ouyang Ju opened his mouth. This made the Emperor's face that is hidden in the dark to become heavy. Does the Ouyang clan wants to rebel? 12 million. 13 million. The major forces of the Qin clan also shouted. Finally, Emperor Xianyuan shouted and directly raised the price to 30 million. The strong dragon must press the snake's neck. The Qin clan must also be defeated. They are all rich, but money isn't everything in this world. This people knew that the emperor would do everything to get what he wanted. From borrowing money that even leads to selling one of his sons. None of it matters as long as he get the Huang Luo pellet in the end. At this time, another clear voice came out. 31 million. The bidder is unexpectedly one of the chancellors, Yun Xinran. Although their clan is filled with scholars and most of them acts as a government official in the palace, added with the fact that Yun Xinran is the right chancellor. Their status is comparable to the Ouyang clan in the Purple Moon Kingdom. Tian, in China, there were sometimes 2 chancellors, differentiated as being, of the left, senior, and, of the right, junior. Ouyang Ju is the senior, left, chancellor by the way. Nevertheless, when compared to the Ouyang clan, the Yun clan is obviously low-key with their ways. In fact, the people here in the auction didn't think that the Yun clan's lord would unexpectedly compete for today's auction for the Huang Luo pellet. Exclamation point. Emperor Xianyuan already crushed the cup in his hands into dust. He said in anger. Even the Yun clan dares to fight with Zhen. I squat while looking at the fishes in the pond. Me, Zhou Yi, don't you want to explain yourself more to Mu Qian? I mean, you obviously know that she's dense as a rock. So why just explain that even without that old fox's decree you would still pursue her? Maybe only in that way, she would see you properly as a man. Jiu Yi, it's fine. I glance at his way. Me, really? Jiu Yi, all great things take time. Me, oh. Hee, is that so? Fine. Do what you think is right. In fact, take my words here as an advice. If you want her, value her. If you want to keep her, honor her. If you want to see her grow, support her. I knew this is your first love, so can you prove to me that it would also be the last? Jiu Yi looks at me straight in the eyes and solemnly said. Jiu Yi, I will. Me, I support you, so remember what you said to me today. Else I don't know how can I help this explain to wooer, okay? I stand up and slowly walk away. Jiu Yi, thank you. Me, Did my ears deceive me? Are you seriously thanking me right now? Ha ha ha. Are you sure you're not sick? Jiu Yi, your words. I will remember every one of it. Me, hee. I can make fun of you now. Jiu Yi. You must keep your words. I wave and make my way back. Jiu Yi mutters to himself. Benjun is a man of his words. Hey guys. Sorry for the another delay. Actually, my big sister's wedding happened yesterday. It's a simple wedding with only a couple of friends from the bride and groom and their family. As I was watching them, I thought, wow, they must be truly in love. I felt happy when I saw how happy my sister was. She was like, shining in that moment. I can't describe, maybe because it was her most special day, she was kinda bloomin', in a sense. IDK. But it was really a good day. We were like busy the entire week that I forgot to post the chapter again. Ha. Sorry. Anyways, hope you enjoy the chapter like I do. I felt that in this chapter, although Jiu Yi is being low-key with his feelings, you can still feel that he's happy. The feeling I got in the wedding made me want to write an omake with Jiu Yi, so I hope it's fine with you guys. Night Prince's boy toy. If the Ouyang clan and the Yun clan knew that the emperor is at the peak of 9th stage martial master and that it was very necessary for him to get Huang Luo pellet to finally break through to martial king, this fight would have never occurred in the first place. Due to the emperor being secretive and astute, no one could guess what he is planning. The emperor felt that his plan is getting farther and farther away. It was truly lifting a rock only to drop it on one's own feet. At this time, Ouyang Lishang, who was beside the emperor, received his father's instruction. He shouted. 32 million. Ouyang Ju pursued his victory. 33 million. 34 million. Yun Xinran yelled. It became a three-man fight, making the monarch and his two ministers the main protagonist of this good show. Mu Qian whispered. It seems that even though the Yun clan is filled with scholars, their financial strength is as strong as the Ouyang clan. If it wasn't for today, I might neglect this Yun clan forever. This place sure has many crouching tiger and hidden dragon. You're my fiancé, nothing will happen to you. Suddenly, Mu Qian was pulled in front of Jiu Yi, as he whispers those words in her ears. Mu Qian, who was a bit startled, said. They aren't enough to impose fear on me. On the other hand, the fight still went on. The crown prince, Ouyang Ju, and even Yun Xinran's faces are all red from shouting. Meanwhile, sitting with the Ouyang clan is the senior disciple of the third elder of the Purple Moon Kingdom's Great Fire sect. He angrily said. Xianyuan Lishang has some guts. Did he really think that after 10 years, he is able to reach the peak of the 9th stage Spirit Master? That dream is too big, don't you think so? Ouyang Ji smiled and said. I agree. Senior brother Nian reached the first stage of martial king at 50 years old. In order for him to achieve the peak of 9th stage martial king, he needs that medicine. Naturally, we as the Ouyang clan must assist senior brother to get it. Tian, they aren't brother. The term Ji said here is Shixiang, which means senior male disciple of the same master/teacher, 80 million. Ouyang Ju shouted loudly. Although, Great Fire Sect is only a 1-star sect and has no rank. Inside the Purple Moon Kingdom, no one can compare with the sect leader's might, even the royal family. Ouyang Ju's son and daughter have good cultivation talents, and both of them were already accepted as the inner disciples of the third elder of the Great Fire Sect. The Great Fire Sect occasionally supported the Ouyang clan. As a result, their Ouyang clan became more and more popular in the Purple Moon Kingdom. This time, if the senior disciple of the third elder got what he wanted, which is the Huang Luo pellet, this would leave a good impression. With their power, they could even replace the current royal family. So it doesn't matter if it's the emperor or the crown prince, Ouyang Ju is set to get the Huang Luo pellet today. Meanwhile, in the Yun clan box, an old man in white clothes said, "When you acquire this Huang Luo pellet, let the ancestors study it. Maybe we can refine another Huang Luo pellet or increase its efficacy more. The door to a new world is just around the corner." Yun Xinran smiled. "Master, this disciple will definitely help you obtain the Huang Luo pellet." The compet. Tian continues. 100 million. Xianyuan Li Shang once again shouted a sky-high price. Knowing that the price reached 100 million, the Ouyang clan couldn't afford it any longer. Ouyang Ju roared. Men at all. How much exactly did that Mu Qian give to the royal family? Ji Kai, the senior disciple of the third elder, was also angry. What the hell? I didn't expect that the Mu clan's lord is this spoiled. Ouyang Ji supported him and slowly said, "Brother, this is all because of that Mu Qian Shi. If it wasn't for her, the Xianyuan royal family won't have money to compete for the Huang Luo pellet." Ji Kai scoffed. "When this auction is over, I must report this to master. I will not let them off easily." Ouyang Ji felt proud. In his heart he said, "Mu Qian, you are really dead this time. Offending the Great Fire Sect, let's see what your little clan can do." Without enough money, the Ouyang clan can only give up. But it wasn't the case with the Yun clan. Danjizhong is an alchemy sect. Naturally, their wealth is higher compared to other sections. Yun Xinran shouted. 200 million. 220 million. 230 million. 240 million. With the Xuanyuan's treasury and Mu Qian's dowry, the emperor is extremely lavish today. As a crown prince, this the first time that Xianyuan Li Shang experienced the immense pressure money could give. He became more and more embarrassed set on his own financial situation. He sighed in his heart. It was truly a pity that Mu Qian is not his fiancée. However, he did not expect that she would sign to Jiu Yi in the end by his father emperor. Having that violent man is definitely not a good thing. In the Yun clan box, Yun Xinran turns his head towards the person beside him. "Master." The old man waved his hand. "That's enough. This is already our bottom line. When did the royal family become so rich?" "Because of the Mu Jia," Yun Xinran said. In his mind, the only thing the emperor is capable of is to sell his own son. Yun Xinran's eyes went cold. This Emperor Xianyuan sure is unpleasant. At least we aren't as shameless as he is. This only proves that the Mu Jia is filthy rich. The Ouyang and Yun clan eventually retreated. Just when Li Shang and Emperor Xianyuan thought that the Huang Luo pellet belongs to them. A seductive voice of a young man reached the ears of the people inside the auction house. Great! Such an interesting auction, how could this Gongzi miss this kind of fun? This Gongzi will also bid. I bid 241 million. The voice is unusually soft and clear. Just like spring, light and very pleasant. Boom! Emperor Xianyuan was so mad that he crushed the table to pieces. This boy must be doing this deliberately. Everyone was amazed. Which family Gongzi is this? When the Ouyang and Yun clan withdrew, he openly challenged the royal family. That box and that voice, it seems it was the same person who attended the auction last time. O-G-O-D. It was the boy who has a really good fortune. He came back again. Many people here also partook. I.P. aided on the previous auction. Naturally, they recognize Mu Qian's voice. But who is he? At first, he appeared and disappeared without a trace. These people didn't think that this boy would come out again this time. In the Purple Moon Kingdom, there has never been such a sly and arrogant boy like him. At this time, Xianyuan Li Shang couldn't stop thinking on how much is left with Mu Qian's dowry. However, Emperor Xianyuan is much calmer than him. Continue to increase the price, our funds are enough. Yes. Father. 260 million. Mu Qian continued. 261 million. Now the crowd is sure about one thing. This boy is doing this on purpose. No doubt about it. Otherwise, how could he only add 100,000 every bid and nothing more? Xianyuan Li Shang is about to explode. Even Emperor Xianyuan, who is calm just a moment ago, has his eyes burning from anger now. When this auction ends, be sure to find out who the boy is. Dare to provoke my Xianyuan family. He must be prepared. The emperor's eyes were filled with desire to kill. Father. This Huang Luo. How? Xianyuan Li Shang asked. Continue to bid. No matter what happens, we have to get it. 270 million. Mu Qian smiled and sarcastically said. His Royal Highness is absolutely rich, always adding 10 millions every bid. Compared to His Highness, this Gongzi is really too poor. I could only add 100,000. That's pretty pathetic, right? Shucks, I'm a bit late. Hey guys. Sorry for another long delay. I can't tell the reason why I'm late on uploading the chapter, but I promise I won't go on hiatus or stop the translation of this novel. So, you don't have to worry about that. JPS, MQX be like. Night Prince's Boy Toy Boom. In Xianyuan Li Shang's box, several things were blasted away from the table. You. The father and son duo was completely filled with rage as they listened to the provocative words of the youth. Meanwhile, the crowd also looks at each other and wondered. This Gongzi must be strong enough to dare challenge the royal family so openly like this, right? Jiu Yi looked at the eyes of the woman beside him. He could see the faint smile on her eyes. 280 million. Xianyuan Li Shang continues to bid despite of the extreme anger he's feeling right now. Mu Qian languidly said. This Gongzi will add another million. Kid, you better let go or else. Regardless of his image, Xianyuan Li Shang made a blatant threat towards the youth. Mu Qian smiled and said. This is an auction house. Whoever bids the highest will be the winner. You can't control me if I still want to bid. Let me remind you that this is not the palace but the auction house. You're barking like a wild dog. Kai Xian. Xianyuan Li Shang released his aura and tried to pressure the auctioneer instead. Kai Xian let out a charming smile and said. Your Highness, please don't embarrass your esteemed self any further. This Gongzi haven't violated any rules in our auction house, so I see no problem here. Kai Xian's lord is very concerned with the youth. Between the crown prince of a small kingdom and the youth, naturally she will obviously pick the latter of the two. The crowd became more curious about the youth's ident. Tai. They didn't expect that the number one auction house will also take his side. The emperor's face sank. He waved his hand towards the crown prince and said, "Continue." 290 million. Xianyuan Li Shang shouted, 291 million. If the prince increases the price again, then this Gongzi can only give up 300 million. The crown prince immediately places his bid after hearing the word of the youth. Mu Qian smiled. Wow! His Royal Highness sure is worthy to be a member of the royal family. Actually, this Gongzi is just playing with you. I really don't have that kind of money. D.A.M.N. The crown prince felt his head going crazy. In a split second, a ruckus started. Kai Xian announced. 300 million. Going once, going twice, sold. The Huangluo pellet will go to the crown prince. A cold glint flashes in Mu Qian's eyes. I will make sure you spit all the things you've swallowed, until nothing is left. If you dare play me again, I'll make sure you die with regrets. The total amount she has sent in the palace was exactly the 300 million the crown prince had bid earlier. Master Bai said. Mu Gongzi, the payment for the Huangluo pellet was already deposited on this crystal card. If you ever need money when you decide to go in the snow continent, you can also withdraw money in there. Is there no fee? Mu Qian asked. Master Bai smiled. You are a good friend of my lord. Young master said that after handling your payment, there is no need for us to take a fee. Emperor Xianyuan not only lost a son, but also a spiritual mine. Her loss was easily taken back in her pocket. If that old fox came to know about this, won't he die from shock? After the auction ended, Emperor Xianyuan and the crown prince decided to stay a little longer. Even the Ouyang clan and the Yun clan are present. They obviously wanted to see the youth from the fifth box. Who is he exactly? Mu Gongzi, this. Master Bai wanted to offer his help, but a cold voice interrupted his words. No need. Suddenly, Mu Qian's waist was hugged by Jiu Yi and they went straight out. The eyes looking forward to the youth's ident. Tai was overwhelmed by the immense pressure coming from inside. Just as everyone was about to see the youth, a wave of coldness suddenly made their bodies unable to move. As they wait for the youth, a man with a black mask with an aura of a demon G.O.D. slowly descends from the stairs. The Night Prince. But earlier. Wasn't it the youth's voice coming from that box? How could the Night Prince be here? Their eyes lowered until they finally saw the enchanting little youth in the Night Prince's arms. Hiss. Seeing another shocking scene, everyone gasped. The youth's eyebrows are like painting, his skin is white as snow, eyelashes that are so long it almost look like a butterfly's wings. And finally under that thick lashes are a pair of pale green eyes, an angelic face pure of innocence with no ounce of blasphemy. I am not sure on my translation for this one. Ors, his gray-green long hair flows like satin down on his highness's arm. Deep black and clear green figures are intertwined forming a perfect picture. The combination of the demon G.O.D. and the elf child truly made a strong impact on the people watching, their eyes locking on these two. Ah! The silence was broken with someone's cry. They couldn't help but feel a chill on their backs. Turning their eyes and never dared to look again. In the next second, the two figures have already disappeared. Mu Qian asked. Jiu Yi. You holding a man like this while strolling, aren't you afraid of the rumors this may give to you? You are my fiancé, Jiu Yi said. Only you and I know it. They don't know. Mu Qian helplessly shouted. It doesn't matter. Naturally, Jiu Yi ignored Mu Qian's pleas. Jiu Yi and Mu Qian left their box casually, but the uproar in the auction house is still not subsiding. No wonder that kid is arrogant. He turned out to be the favored one of the Night Prince. Ah. That youth is so enchanting. It is no wonder that His Highness that is always so cold is tempted. A rumor is starting to form. Emperor Xuanyuan's face is getting darker and his mood is getting gloomier. That D.A.M.N. brat turned out to be Jiu Ye's boy toy. Emperor Xuanyuan slowly said. The youth looks important to Jiu Yi. We must not act carelessly, wait until the time is right. An elf-like child dares to provoke my royal family. Once he falls out of favor, I will immediately kill him. Disregarding the fact that his son is a cut sleeve, the emperor could only remember that peerless appearance of the youth. After getting the Huangluo pellet, the emperor pretended to be sick, letting the crown prince to supervise the kingdom to hide and retreat. Mu Qian glanced at the palace's direction and sneered. I'll let you be happy for a while. Lord, there is a problem on the spiritual mine. Mu San suddenly appeared in front of Mu Qian to report. What's the problem? Upon opening the spiritual mine and mining a minuscule amount of spiritual jade, an internal stone appeared. The stone is so hard, even if we use our qi, it won't budge. I'm sure the emperor knew this already. He already knew it won't be profitable, so he used this as a gift. Mu Qian also expected this outcome. If the emperor really gave a mine with a good vein, that would surprise her more. Mu Qian ordered. First, stop the work temporarily. This lord will go inspect it tomorrow. Yes, my lord. A medicinal pellet can help one's cultivation, but it cannot become the root of cultivation. A cultivator still has to rely on their own strength to cultivate. If she can mine more spiritual jade, she could at least upgrade the spiritual energy inside the shadows together with their strength. On the next day, Mu Qian took Yuzhe to the spiritual mine to investigate. Yuzhe suddenly said. Leader, the Night Prince, he seems to like men, he. Yuzhe with his jar of vinegar. Abnormal spiritual energy. Mu Qian's mouth twitched. I didn't expect you to be so gossipy like the other people who have nothing to do. But I can't help it. That's leader's fiancé, he liking men is. That's a decree made one-sidedly by the emperor. Do you think I will take it seriously? Mu Qian asked. I don't. Yuzhe felt really miserable in the Queen Dowager's feast, but a hope suddenly appeared today. Now that he knew that the Night Prince prefers men and Mu Qian doesn't take the marriage decree seriously, then everything can go back the way before. But what confuses him is despite the Night Prince's preference, why did that person continues on pestering leader? In the end, Yuzhe was grateful for the Night Prince liking men. That is truly wonderful news. The spiritual mine is not far away from the capital. The outer layer of the mine has been hollowed out by the royal family, while inside there is an internal stone sealing the area. No matter what kind of attack, the stone won't budge. Mu Qian ordered. Yuzhe, you try. Yes. Boom. Yuzhe did his best, but the stone didn't shake a bit. Mu Qian looked at the internal stone and said. There must be something strange going on. That stone is too tough, this is unusual. No matter what attack is used, it won't open. Mu Er, you two try to attack it together. In spite of the successive attacks, the internal stone still remained the same. Only the stone surrounding it broke. Forgive us, my lord. Mu Er asked. How can we mine as this goes on? Mu Qian said. Don't worry, I knew the shadows already done everything to get this stone out. This lord will think of another way, so I'm going back first. Understood. The Mu Jia's people stopped working. The crown prince, Xianyuan Lishang, who is currently overseeing the kingdom's affairs, continues on keeping an eye towards any movement of the spiritual mind from the sidelines. Yes, crown prince. Ha ha ha. That girl must be really disappointed now. Becoming the night prince's fiancé only amounts that much. She and that spiritual mind are truly compatible, both are useless. Xianyuan Lishang roared. The crown prince has always been very dissatisfied with Xianyuan Jiuyi. It is a pity that that man cannot be easily provoked. Hitting him is like striking a stone with an egg. Tien, it means to invite disaster by overreaching oneself / to attempt the impossible. Additionally, there is the night prince's boy toy that he can't get out of his head. Xianyuan Lishang's grievances against the ninth prince are getting bigger and bigger. Now that he got this news, he is now in a good mood. Meanwhile, Mu Qian ordered people to purchase some things like niter, charcoal and so on. These days there are no medicines but strange contraptions surrounding her. Tn, another term for poda. Siam nitrate, a constant tuent of gunpowder. Yuzhe, follow my instructions carefully. We'll open that mine this time. Yuzhe took that black lacquered thing and asked. Leader, this thing that doesn't have a spiritual energy, can it really destroy that hard stone from the mine? Mu Qian patiently explained. Although this isn't a spiritual weapon, don't ever underestimate the black gunpowder's power. Once you're done, tell me the results quickly. Move far away after igniting it. Don't hurt yourself. Yuzhe understood. Boom. Suddenly, on each sides of the spiritual mine, successive loud noise occurred, followed by a landslide. Fortunately, Yuzhe listened to Mu Qian's warnings. He hid himself far away beforehand or else he would be stuck in a miserable state. Opened. It finally opened. Gongzi, that blast really opened up the mine. The power of the black gunpowder was stronger than the attack of a spirit king. Finally the internal stone is shattered to pieces. However, this is obviously not enough. If they truly want to mine, the excavation must continue until they reach the depth. Yuzhe said with excitement. Someone report this immediately to leader. Since the effect is better than expected, Mu Qian continued on creating another batch of the black powder to send to her people. After some hard work, good news came up regarding the spiritual mine. Lord, there are a lot of spiritual jade inside the spiritual mine. Not only is the even the quality of the spiritual jades are better than what the royal family has. Mu Qian sternly said. Block the news. Send our most trusted people to mine and then distribute the spiritual jades to the shadows. This will help them to become stronger as soon as possible. Yes, my lord. If news that the worthless spiritual mine is actually a rare one filled with high-quality spiritual jades instead came out. With the royal family's shamelessness, those SCU-MS will definitely think of a way to get it back. So, she must be very careful with how they will proceed from now on. The mining of the spiritual mine was very smooth. Meanwhile, the emperor finally made a breakthrough to Spirit King. Mu Qian also used most of her time to cultivate. Lord, there is another discovery inside the spiritual mine. What did you find? When she's still at the spiritual mine that time, Mu Qian can guess that the spiritual mine is quite unusual from the first glance. We found a mysterious channel. It wasn't formed naturally but looks like dug by something. Mu Qian asked. Did you check it inside? No, we will wait for the Lord's command first. Mu Qian said. Then, guide this Lord to where it is. I want to see it myself. Yes. Upon reaching the entrance of the mysterious channel, Mu Qian saw that the size of the channel is very narrow, at most, reaching a tall person's height. Go! Mu Qian ordered. As they went deeper, the more spiritual jade appears. But the temperature is getting hotter as they proceed. When the temperature increases, those who are already at the martial or spirit king can use their qi to protect their bodies. However, Mu Qian, she who is only a spirit master, can only summon her water spiritual energy to wrap herself from the heat. At the end of the channel, Mu Qian saw a huge lake underground. Upon close inspection, the lake isn't made of water but filled with lava instead. Tian, in the Ross it says, red flame, but I don't think it would make a lake, so I used lava as an alternative. Mu Yi is the first to speak. I don't think that the royal family controls a place like this. Inside the so-called lake, the lava is surging in frenzy. This time, a gorgeous lotus slowly floated at the center. In Mu Qian's eyes a glimmer of light flashed. Sanqing Fire Lotus. Sanqing Fire Lotus, each petal is crystal clear and connected symmetrically together. If that isn't the Sanqing Fire Lotus, then what is? This is a rare 9th grade elixir. How did it appear in here? Mu Yi said. The Lord wants it. Then I will take it. Mu Yi rushed inside the lake. Suddenly his clothes are caught in a fire. He took a step back. Apparently, spiritual energy doesn't work. Mu Qian coldly said. Mu Yi, come back. Mu Yi breaks into a cold sweat. He hastily retreated. By the time he came back, the fire already covered his whole left leg. Luckily, Mu Qian already summoned her water dragon in time to extinguish the flame. After the flame is doused, Mu Yi is filled with severe burn marks and pain in his left leg. Mu Yi in a frightened state asked. What is that flame? Lord, don't go. Spiritual energy doesn't work in there. His lord rarely caught any interest in things. When Mu Yi saw the look in her eyes towards the fire lotus, he unconsciously went to grab it. He never thought that with his strength he is still unable to get it. His heart sank. Mu Qian said. Stay here, I'll go. No. All of them shouted. Mu Yi, who is a spirit king, already burned himself to death. If the Lord, who is only at the first stage of Spirit Master, go, it would be dangerous. Mu Qian waved her hand and said. Don't forget that this Lord has a water element. Since normal spiritual energy doesn't work, only I with a water element would withstand it. After that, Mu Qian leaped towards the center. When the lava started to reach her feet, her whole body was instantly wrapped in a blue veil. Boom! When lava and water collide with each other, Mu Yi and the others who are watching from the sides were shocked. Me, Jiu Yi, do you know the rumors that is going around these days? Jiu Yi, no me, do you want to know? Jiu Yi, no me, do you only answer no every time I ask something? Jiu Yi, yes me, fine. I'll talk instead. Rumor has it that you're gay. Jiu Yi, so? Me, what do you mean so? Don't you know? The guys hanging around Mu Qian now knew that they still had a chance due to you being gay and all. Jiu Yi finally looks me in the eye, he said. Jiu Yi is here. The spiritual energy that is protecting Mu Qian she from harm doesn't come from her own but from the water dragon ring, the eternal ring itself. Even if she's still weak, with the ring's power, it can still stop the flame from burning her alive. Mu Qian's figure leapt and landed safely at the side of the Sanqing Fire Lotus. Mu Yi and the others finally breathed a sigh of relief. Great! The Lord is fine. Mu Qian reached out her hand and took the fire lotus, forming a satisfied smile on her face. A 9th grade elixir. Since arriving from this world, this is the first time she had found one. Just when Mu Qian is preparing herself to return to the others, Mu Yi with a pale face shouted. Lord! Be careful. Stupid. Did you honestly think that a 9th grade elixir is easy to get? Just where does your survival instinct before go? A series of Ting's insults flooded her ears. Mu Qian felt a sudden horrifying power coming from behind. When she turned back, she saw a fierce and huge fire-shaped monster that can spray a flame hotter than the sun. Basically, very hot. A suffocating aura shrouded the area, almost as if death has come. At this time, the surrounding air seemed to stop from flowing, and in a matter of seconds, a horrible flame attack is heading before her at a frightening speed. Ting used his powers and shouted. Ugly woman. This is not the right time to lose your focus. Run quick. Mu Qian's figure flashed as she tried to return with the others. Boom. A loud blast echoed inside. The fireball that was sent out made a huge hole on the wall and had formed a pit. Lord! Mu Yi and the other were shocked. In the next second, they saw Mu Qian standing at the side, unharmed. Mu Qian ordered. Don't act recklessly. Let's get out of here, quick. Yes. Sure enough, an elixir with a grade like this also poses the same kind of danger. A deafening roar came out. Wretched woman. Stop right there. A wild series of fireb. ALLs were thrown after them. Mu Yi and the others did their best to run with Mu Qian. They are undoubtedly racing against death. Boom. Stop. Upon seeing the exit of the tunnel, several of them rolled out from the mining area. However, at this time, a creature covered with flames also rushed out. Mu Qian knew there's no way out of this, so she put down the fire lotus on the ground and said, I didn't know that this elixir has a guardian. Please believe us that we did not deliberately take your stuff. You can take it back and we can just forget that none of this happens, all right? The anger on the creature's voice didn't diminish a bit. It roared. Who cares about that little lotus? You puny human. How dare you to interrupt this deity's sleep? This sin is enough for me to take all of your lives. The creature is in a state of hibernating. I think. Just when the fireball was about to hit Mu Qian, a white small figure flashed in front of her. What show is this? Even dares to kill my master, dream on. I, Woody Tianxia, will kill whoever dares to hurt master. Woody's figure turned into a cannonball and rushed towards the fireball head-on. Mu Yi said. Lord, your contracted beast seems to be a 7th rank beast now, but the power I feel from the fire beast is stronger. If I'm correct, it should be a holy beast. Is this really fine? Mu Qian calmly said. Woody is very afraid of death. It won't do things that have no certainty. Woody, although the level is a little lower, wields a special power. Every time the fire beast launch an attack, Woody on the other hand easily avoids it. I will kill you. Come out. The fire beast is getting angrier and is in a hot pursuit of the white cat. This time, the white cat wails. Master. Run. This thing is too strong. I can't handle him. Hurry and ask for help. Find the terrible man. Only he can deal with this thing. You want to run? No way. The fire beast heard Woody's entire plan. In a flash, it rushed to Mu Qian's direction instead. He waking up when it isn't the right time yet was really a sin that requires death. It will definitely kill all the people who woke him abruptly from its slumber. In its mind, killing them is not yet enough. Just when the fire beast's fireball was about to reach Mu Qian, a black figure suddenly appeared. letting the flame completely disappear. Jiu Yi. Mu Qian looked at the person in front with shock. It's me. The icy blue eyes flashed a cold light. Xianyuan Jiu Yi already rushed towards the fire beast side and attacked it. A small white ball floated in the air and suddenly fell. Mu Qian hurried to try and catch it. She asked. Woody, are you okay? Woody turned his eyes open and gasped. D-A-M-N. This cat was almost burned to death. If my strength is restored, see if I won't roast that pig. Series of explosions flooded their ears. As the fight of Jiu Yi and the fire beast went on, the entire mine cave began to collapse. Jiu Yi coldly said. Wait for me outside. All right. Mu Qian together with the others quickly made their retreat. This level of fight is not what they can handle. Earthquakes and tremors began to spread. Mu Yi sighed. His Highness, the Night Prince's abilities surely surpass others. If I remember correctly, His Highness isn't even 20-year-old yet, but somehow his abilities and cultivation probably exceeds third masters. In the face of such powerful enemy, the fire beast was annoyed. What are you exactly? How can you be so powerful? Are you really a human? Boom! The terrible flame rushed out of the mine and into the sky, dyeing the entire sky into a fire red. With the immense power coming out, the mining area began to collapse. Mu Yi pulled Mu Qian and said, Lord, we must go. I'm afraid the fire beast has another trick. We must leave this place immediately. Fortunately, this mining area is located at a remote area. If there is such a big commotion inside the capital, the whole place will burn out. Such terrible force, Mu Qian could not help but worry. Jiu Yi is still inside. What if an accident happens to him? In the flame akin to a volcanic eruption, a black figure suddenly comes out. With his black robe, he looks like a demon floating down in the mortal's world. The hot flame could not hurt him, and it even became a background that added to his demon-like image. Arg! Let me go! A scream of a piglet came, destroying everyone's trance. Are you all right? In Jiu Ye's hand, it seems that he's holding something. Upon closer look, Mu Qian was shocked. Woody, who was resting in Mu Qian's arm, said, It is the red pig that spurts fire. It is indeed a round red piglet. Its hind leg was carried by Jiu Yi as he hangs it in the air. The red piglet is not much bigger than Woody. Mu Qian's mouth began to twitch. The creature attacking us is this little red pig. Yes. Woody nodded. She initially thought that it was a powerful ancient beast. Never did she expect that it would end up as a pig. In any case, this red piglet could not escape from Jiu Ye's hands at all. Before reaching Mu Qian, Jiu Ye's bone-chilling voice entered the red piglet's ears. If you want to live, then do what I told you. Oh red piglet, why didn't you say that your master has a strong person backing her? Woody, you're chasing me with fire, remember? Red piglet, D-A-M-N. If I knew this would happen, I will never let myself out from my nest. Woody, * crosses his arms towards the piglet. Welcome to my world. Just to remind you. There is no turning back now. Red piglet. Sorry guys for the delay again. Actually, as of now I'm trying to find another job. There are many reasons, but let me tell you only one thing. The working hours are slowly killing me. I feel that my body won't last long if I overwork myself any longer. I've been busy going from interviews the past weeks, and I already informed my boss about my decision too. If I got another job, I'll tell you guys later. Also, I'm not dropping this novel. I too have real-life problems, so please be patient with me. The next chapters may take longer than I've said in the previous chapter, but all I ask is patience from you guys. Please be very patient with me. See. Before we start, I have to thank Dillycat for the hot beverage. Thanks Red Heart Red Heart Red Heart. Not good. The little red pig's ear that looks as big as a fan was being held by Jiu Yi as if it was a cup. Even with its tangled state, the pig still made a skeptical gaze towards Mu Qian. It said, "You're telling me that I should let myself be contracted to this woman who's only at the realm of martial spirit master? Are you insane?" Tian, he is referring himself in a very arrogant manner in Chinese. The term used is, which means uncle or a term of respect for an older man. After that, Jiu Yi made a leap beside Mu Qian. He asked, "Do you like to eat roasted pig today?" Mu Qian finally understood. With a twinkle in her eyes, she let out a sly smile to the little pig. This little guy almost scorched her to death. How could she miss this chance to retaliate? Mu Qian nodded. Roasted suckling pig sounds delicious, all right. Definitely one of my favorites. Mu Qian's unscrupulous eyes scared the living daylights out of the little pig. It wailed loudly. Don't eat me. I agree. I'll make a contract with you. It said so reluctantly, therefore Mu Qian was still dissatisfied with it. You want to have a contract with me and you're expecting me to agree easily. My Woody is invincible and cute. Why would I want you? Meow. Woody, who's been praised twice, sticks its tail straight up. Compared to that white cat, I am much stronger. The little red pig was angry. It looks towards Jiu Yi and its heart almost stopped once again. The little pig wagged its tail and rubbed Mu Qian's sleeve with its nose. With its pitiful appearance it speaks softly. Won't you have a contract with me? If you still reject me, this devil will surely kill me. Wu, accept him. He can protect you. Jiu Yi looked straight at Mu Qian. Wu. Please. The little red pig continued its pitiful look with teary eyes. This pig is definitely much stronger than the kitten. With its strength as a holy beast, even a spirit king or martial king cultivator won't stand a chance. Mu Qian smiled and said, "Fine. I will make a contract with you. If you dare not listen to my orders, let's see if I won't make you a roasted pig." "I wouldn't dare. I won't let you down, master." In terms of contract, the little pig's case was way worse than the kitten. After being forced by Jiu Yi, it took the initiative to create a slave contract with Mu Qian. After this, it won't even have any pig rights. Mu Qian exclaimed. This is holy beast level. Mu Qian felt that the strength it had showed earlier and now were completely different. The little red pig said, "Master, don't you worry. I don't have any unsustainable injury or illness, it's just that I need to replenish my strength with a good rest after a fight. You have to believe me that when I rested enough I will be even more powerful." It pointed itself with its tiny feet and said, "If Master did not wake me up while I'm recuperating, would not be so angry earlier." Mu Qian asked. "Then how long do you usually sleep?" The little red pig smiled and said, "It isn't that long actually. Just 10,000 years. What?" Mu Qian almost slapped the pig to its death. She exclaimed. "After sleeping for 10,000 of years, don't tell me that you've only reached the holy beast level. Are you recuperating or simply slacking, huh?" The little red pig laughed innocently. "Wow! Master is so powerful. How did you know everything? In fact, you're right, I am lazy." Mu Qian's face is full of black lines. She pulled the little pig's ears and said, "Jiu Yi, this pig is too unreliable. Can I return it?" Jiu Yi faintly said, If it can't protect you, then you can roast it to eat. The little red pig shuddered with horror. It hurriedly assured Mu Qian. Master, after I'm healed, I won't be lazy anymore. Why, you must not eat me. What did I do to deserve this? The first beast that she made a pact with was not only good at selling thmeng but also eating beast cores, nothing else. Meng means acting cute, while this one, who have thrown a variety of attacks earlier, was a complete dunce. MQ is saying that little piggy is a urwo, which is slang for foolishly cute person. Mu Qian asked once again. What kind of beast are you exactly? Do you have a name? Ha ha ha. I'm not a spirit beast but a... The little red pig smiled and was about to give his ident. But suddenly closed his mouth almost immediately. Its heartbeat jumped wildly. Fortunately, it did not say its name, else Master wouldn't want him anymore and the devil behind him would surely make a stew out of him. I have slept for too long. I don't know what kind of beast I am either. I don't even remember my name anymore. The little red pig showed a sad expression. A dark light flashed in Mu Qian's eyes. This little guy must be a demon. Not to be confused with the literal demon we know. In here MQ is referring the little pig as a demon, gui, or alternatively translated as monsters. Born when an animal, plant, or even an inanimate object absorbs spiritual energy over a long period of time and then gains spiritual awareness. Not inherently evil, although many have antagonistic relationships with humans. However, since it had already signed a slave contract with her, she's not afraid no matter what kind of beast it is. Its life is within her hands after all. Mu Qian said. Since you are anxious about your name, how about I give you a new one? Is it all right with you? The little red pig raised its feet. Master, please bestow me a name. Mu Qian laughed. I'm naming you Xiaohong. How is it? It's easy to remember, right? Xiaohong means little red, PFT. Woody laughed uncontrollably. It's Master, it truly a genius when it comes to names. It's really spot on. For him, the name Woody Tianxia is truly living up to his glory. So unique and unmatched. Thawed. Xiaohong fell directly to the ground. It wailed once again. Master. Are there any other options left? That's a sissy name. I'm a male. Male. Whoa. Xiaohong felt the world is so unfair. No matter how sad he expressed himself, Mu Qian doesn't budge. Meanwhile, Mu Yi exclaimed. Lord. Look, there are a lot of spiritual jades over there. The explosions earlier broke out so many spiritual jades outside. Mu Qian smiled. It seems that the Xianyuan royal family are not so bad after all. After all, this is quite a generous amount indeed. Everyone. Let's proceed to the next step. Yes, Lord. After handling the veins, Mu Qian went inside her carriage and Jiu Yi came after, intending to go back together with her. Mu Qian asked. Jiu Yi, how did you find me? I sensed the power of the Chaos Zhuzhong Pavilion going wildly as if it was in danger, so I came. Jiu Yi faintly replied. Mu Qian knows that there is no way Ting had a method to contact Jiu Yi in a flash. Otherwise, Jiu Yi wouldn't find her so quickly back then. I really appreciate what you did today. Mu Qian smiled. You don't need to thank me. A small flash of light glimmered in Jiu Yi's eyes. Mu Qian nodded and helplessly said. Okay. On the other side, a fierce and arrogant person tries to usher himself inside the Mu Jia. A guard at the gate asked. Who are you to dare break inside the Lord's home? Get out of my way. Let Mu Qian she come out to see me. A violent voice came out. The Lord is out. If that's the case, then let Mu Wuxuang know that we're here to see him. Another somber voice was heard. Afterwards, a gentle jade-like voice said over. Ouyang Jia's second young master, Ouyang Xiang, and the disciple of the fire sect, Ji Kai. Why did you two suddenly want to visit us in our humble abode? Is there any matter? Mu Wuxuang in a wheelchair was slowly pushed out by a shadow. His white robe that has no stain or dust, coupled with his jade-like appearance, was truly pleasing to the eye. Ji Kai, full of disdain with Mu Wuxuang, rudely asked. You are Mu Wuxuang. The man in front of him has his two legs crippled, his eyes were both blind, yet his unique charm is still there, simply making ordinary people ashamed. Yes. Mu Wuxuang's face is as calm as water. Ji Kai said. I heard that Mu Qian has a lot of medicines taken from the Ouyang clan. This Gongzi is in need of the said elixirs. Hand them all over to me. Hey guys. Guess who's back? Hope some of you still remember this novel. I tried to post this chapter way before, but I kind of forgot my password on this site, so it took too long for me to post this chapter. Also, what name do you readers want for the little pig? The Pinyin version, which is Xiaohong, or just the English version Little Red? Also, happy 1 year for Evil W.A.N.G. pampers his ghost Dr. Fei. One does not simply leave, Shear's things are hers only. That is precisely why I, as her uncle, won't let someone take her things without permission, let alone touch it. Mu Wuxuang's voice suddenly turned cold and serious. Ouyang Xiang said with anger. Mu Qian, she is despicable and utterly brazen. She used my sister's life as a threat and took almost all of our clan's elixirs. As a promising master of my family, I have the rights to take it all back today. If you know what's best, better give it all back to me this instant. Ji Kai, who was full of himself, added. Hey! You, Mu people already angered me by helping the royal family to get the Huangluo pellet. Just take out all of your elixirs and give it to me. I will take it as a compensation for the troubles you've brought to me initially. Else, don't blame me what happens to your puny clan afterwards. Then why don't you? I, Mu Wuxuang, am really eager to see you try. Mu Wuxuang moved in front of Ji Kai and landed a blow. Mu Wuxuang's attack directly hit the man, but Ji Kai, who has just entered the first stage of the Spirit King, can withstand it. Ouyang Xiang furiously yelled. Mu Wuxuang. You actually dare to attack the Fire Sect Third Elder's disciple? Are you crazy? At this time, two old men suddenly appeared in front of Ji Kai, blocking Mu Wuxuang's another blow. Boom! Three forces clashed together. A cold light flashed in Ouyang Xiang's eyes. Mu Wuxuang offended the Fire Sect today. This small clan definitely won't survive in the future. These two were already at the peak of Martial King and considered as the best in the Fire Sect. It was a fight to death, each attack were delivered with the intent to kill. At the same time, the people of the Ouyang clan also started to make their move. As a result, a series of fight broke inside the Mu Jia. Half of the shadows went out with Mu Qian earlier, and now only half of them are left. Although each of them had advanced to the first stage of Martial King, they still couldn't beat these people. Then. Even if I die, I have to take a few of them to HELL with me. Just when Mu Shisan was about to self-destruct to burn these fools, a blue figure suddenly said in his eyes, surprise which made him to make an abrupt stop. Tien, it seems these people can make their bodies explode. Like what Cell and DBZ had done. Yeah, I'm quite confused too. It was clearly the youth who doesn't have a heartbeat. He was alive. Why you? I knew it, you are with them. Kill him. Ouyang Xiang ordered. As they make their way to the youth in blue, his shadow was the only thing they saw. The youth's speed is extremely fast. Rumble. They aren't his opponents at all. The enemies seem to have learned of the youth's strength. One by one, they've started to corner the youth, reducing a lot of pressure from the shadows. When Mu Qian entered the city gate, she heard a lot of noises coming from the Mu Jia's direction. A raging fire flashed on Mu Qian's eyes. Damn it. Who is the fool who dares to cause trouble on my own home? Are they tired of living already? A purple figure together with a kitten and a piglet on her arms went towards the ruckus. When Mu Qian arrived, she saw a battlefield happening right inside her residence. She also saw her little uncle being besieged by 2 expert cultivators, which made her angrier. Fuck. This Mu Wuxuang isn't at the peak of Martial King at all. Is he really blind? 2 Martial Kings dealing with a disabled person, isn't this supposed to be an easy feat? If this goes on, these 2 cultivators from the fire sect would lose all their reputation and fall into humiliation. Suddenly, a cold voice came out. Catch all these imbeciles for me. Ouyang Xiang harumphed. Mu Qian Shi, you finally have the courage to appear. Ji Kai also turned to take a look at Mu Qian, and he had to say that this woman bears a charm and beauty that no man can resist. He felt a burst of wind brought flowers on his face, his eyes glimmer with delight. You are the lord of this clan, Mu Qian. Mu Qian confirmed. It is me. Aren't you supposed to explain first why you came here for trouble? Ji Kai looked at Mu Qian and said. You gave funds to the royal family that led me to lose the Huanglo pellet. This Gongzi came here to ask for compensation to settle this immediately, yet your uncle aren't willing to do so. Since you are the head of this clan, better give me what we came for so we can leave. Mu Qian blatantly said. Since you guys have no money to bid for the Huangluo pellet, when did that become my problem? You want my elixirs? Never. Ji Kai's gaze fell on Mu Qian's body. He raised a brow and said. If you don't take out your elixirs as compensation, then how about you use your body instead? He licked his lips and said. I didn't think that the Mu Jia's lord would be this. Before Ji Kai ended his words, a murderous attack was thrown in his direction. With its speed, the 2 expert cultivators simple cannot stop it. Oh! A deafening scream was heard after. Ji Kai's body has already flown far away. All the bones in his body were broken, no internal organs were intact. Cough! Cough! He vomited lots of blood until the end of his breath. He wasn't even given a time to eat a healing pill. Ji Xiao. The 2 elders could only watch Ji Kai die in front of them, their eyes went red. Tian, Xiao means young. They roared. Mu Wuxuang, how dare you kill our fire sect's top disciple, Ji Kai. This isn't over. You will soon taste the fire sect's revenge. These cultivators suspect that Mu Wuxuang isn't just a martial king at all, his strength surpass. Sing them is the proof. Staying here for any longer would only result to more casualty. They must hurry back to their sect and report this immediately. When they were about to retreat, a man akin to a devil suddenly appeared, leading a troop of bloody red skeletons behind his back, blocking their only way. The masked man, even if they were people from the outside, they knew how dangerous this person in front of them can be. Their faces all paled immediately, exclaiming, Your Royal Highness. Jiu Ye's cold voice said. One does not simply leave. With orders from His Highness, Jiu Yi, the bloody red skeletons start working like a bunch of grim reapers towards the fire sect and Ouyang's people, easily pulling the lives of the fire sects and Ouyang people until none is left. Ah! Don't kill me. Don't kill me. In the face of such a situation, Ouyang Xiang has long gone been silly and scared in the corner. He originally thought that with today's move, he can make the Mu Jia suffer. He did not expect that the Night Prince's skeleton troop will suddenly appear. The horror happening in front of him and blood spilling almost everywhere filled him with intense chill on his body. Everyone was dead, the people from his clan and even the elders from the fire sect. The events today made his blood run cold, the horrifying images flooded his mind. Ouyang Xiang was as pale as a ghost. Thawed. Like a dead pig, Ouyang Xiang fell flat on the ground. The BLOODY red skeletons were efficient, the enemies surrounding the Mu Jia earlier were now wiped out. Afterwards, a blue figure flashed in front of Mu Qian. Jiu Ye's face sank, and when he was about to unleash an attack to the youth, Mu Qian hurriedly said, "Jiu Yu, don't do it." A pair of limpid black eyes looked straight at Mu Qian's eyes with ecstasy. Mu Qian asked, "What do you want?" He strange young man slowly said, "Medicine. I eat. RIPG Kai." He only appeared for like 2 chapters? And OX. What are you exactly? Are you secretly a COC Croach? So hard to kill even for our MC, it's like he doesn't learn anything from the suffering he had before, or maybe he's just that dumb. Also, remember the man MQ saved before? The one who wore a woman's clothes. Will he's back. The power of the Night Prince. The battle had consumed a lot of the youth's energy, and being his voice so quiet, it seems that his strength has also weakened. With today's confrontation with the Ouyang family together with the fire sect, Mu Qian knew the youth contributed the most. Hence, Mu Qian readily took out a bottle of elixir supplementing spiritual power to the youth in front of her, and with a smile, she said, "Here. This is for you." The youth took the bottle and, regardless of what's inside, directly downed it like a drink. Mu Yi and the other shadows smirked. They knew exactly what the youth would do, they are already used on seeing the youth's absurdity. After finishing one bottle, the youth clad in blue looked at Mu Qian once again with antic Asian. His meaning was quite obvious at this point. He still wants more. Mu Qian let out a chuckle. She took out all of her elixirs and pressed it all to the youth's arms. She said, "If you like it very much, then you can have it all." Other people were shocked. In their opinion, this youth is already crazy, but what their lord has done is much more absurd. If they were to compare, only their lord would be this bold to hand so many precious elixirs to someone. After finishing all of it, the youth's facial expression still looks indifferent. "Sheer." Mu Wushuang called out. "Little uncle, are you all right?" "I'm fine. Those people can't possibly hurt me." Mu Wushuang shook his head. At this moment, the color of his eyes turned back to normal. He glanced at Jiu Yi and said, "For today's matter, I thank His Highness, the Night Prince, for helping us back there." Jiu Yi apathetically said, "She is my fiancée, naturally I'll help." "Tien, he's saying the I here in a really haughty manner." LOL, a faint light flashed in Mu Wushuang's eyes. He retorted, "His Highness must be joking. Do you really think my Mu Jia will take the imperial edict seriously?" Jiu Yi seriously said, "Yes." 2 pair of cold and sharp eyes met, not saying a thing. While in fact, there is a silent war happening in between. "If you dare hurt or bring danger to Sheer, I will make sure you'll regret coming to this world." At this point, Mu Wushuang's voice was neither as warm nor gentle as before, but instead stern and austere. "I don't need your reminder," Jiu Yi coldly said. When his words fell, Jiu Yi took his BLOOD Red Skeleton Army and the unconscious Ouyang Xiang away. Housekeeper Bai tossed Ouyang Xiang's body to the Ouyang's household and said with a smile. Ouyang Lord, don't forget that my master is now the fiancé of Mu Qianxi. If Ouyang Lord continues on acting against the Mu Jia, my master would eradicate your whole clan to existence. This is a warning, please heed my words carefully. Ouyang Ju's hands has long been sweating and trembling, with a fake smile he said. This lord will surely listen to housekeeper Bai's words. Ouyang Ju didn't expect that with the emperor's imperial edict, Mu Qian did not end up dead while being engaged to the notorious Night Prince, and the most terrible thing is that the Night Prince even became her backing. If he were to compare, Zhou Yi would be 100 times worse than Mu Wushuang. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. At this moment Ouyang Xiang opened his eyes and shouted in panic. All medicine did not work on pacifying Ouyang Xiang's fear. Ouyang Ju knew his son, Ouyang Xiang, was completely traumatized. On the other hand, without any warning, Ji Kai's body was plopped inside the fire sect. The third elder of the fire sect who had lost a loved one wanted to go to the Mu Jia to avenge his disciple. With grief and indignation he's feeling, he knew that with Mu Wushuang's level he would win. Even if the royal family does not support going against Mu Wushuang, he felt there is nothing to fear. But upon hearing the warning the Ouyang clan got from housekeeper Bai through the Yi clan, the third elder dare not move. The lord of the Mu Jia is now the fiancé of the Night Prince. If you dare move against the Mu Jia, then our fire sect will be destroyed. The sect leader hurriedly tried to persuade the third elder on acting rashly. He said again and again. Don't be too rash. Do you all want us to die? The third elder couldn't help but shout. What about my disciple? Is my disciple's life insignificant to you? Are you saying I should just leave them be after all they've done to him? I understand what you're saying, but for the time being, we can't mess with the Mu Jia, especially with Xianyuan Zhou Yi on her side. The sect leader said. The second young master of the Ouyang clan became stupid, while the sect leader of the fire sect surprisingly decided to let the matter go. After a storm comes calm, in addition to some damaged buildings, the Mu Jia state once again returned to its former glory. Mu Qianxi continued her days on refining medicines, cultivating her strength and making money. On this day, she had just finished concocting a pot of elixir when a cyan figure appeared beside her, drooling while looking at the cauldron. Mu Qian's mouth twitched, she asked. Do you want to drink it? The youth nodded and said. Yes. After watching the youth for a few days, Mu Qian finally knew that this guy doesn't need to eat nor drink water, the only thing that keeps him alive is through medicines. Here. Mu Qian gave him the whole cauldron of elixir. The youth directly swallowed its contents. Meanwhile, Mu Qian took another bottle out and handed it to him. She said. Here, take this also. Apparently, the vial of the new elixir looks unique to the youth. He only looked at it with caution. Seeing that, Mu Qian opened the bottle and let the youth smell first its scent. In a flash, the youth SNTC had the bottle on her hand and downed it in a blink. Glug glug. A really weird man. Mu Qian asked. What's your name? The youth shook his head and said. I don't know. Mu Qian asked again. Do you plan to stay here? I'll follow you. When I'm with you, there are medicinal pills to eat and elixirs to drink and I won't fall asleep. If I'm without you, I'll surely be asleep somewhere again. The youth finished his words stiffly. Mu Qian froze. You actually rely on medicines as your energy. No wonder he fell asleep before or after fighting with the Ouyang guards. It turned out that the effects of the elixirs he consumed were almost depleted. Mu Qian laughed. You can stay, I can let you eat and drink enough medicines, but I have a condition. Say it. I want you to listen to me. If I ask you to fight someone, do it. Remember this clearly, if someone wants to hurt my family, you have to protect my family at all cost. The youth's fighting ability is very strong, and Mu Qian suspects that the stronger the medicine he consumes, the greater his fighting powers would be. There is nothing bad about having another strong comrade. She felt that even if she tried to drive the youth away, he wouldn't budge a bit. Since you don't remember your name, then I'll call you Qingying. Do you like it? Mu Qian asked. Qingying. I like it. The youth nodded. Tian, Qingying means young shadow. The Mu Jia has gained another powerful ally. Although the amount of elixirs he consumes every day can make the royal family cry, Mu Qian didn't care. Qingying only needs medicines, and as an alchemist, she can causally make it any time she wanted. She has an overwhelming amount of raw materials anyway, she can still afford to keep him. In the meantime, Mu Yi handed a letter to Mu Qian. He said. Lord, the Yun clan delivered an invitation letter to you. Mu Qian, who is slightly surprised, said. The Yun clan, who has always been low-key. What are they trying to do now? In the invitation letter, it says that in order to let the talents of the Purple Moon Kingdom compete and promote with each other, the list of geniuses must be re-ranked. This would also help others to have an opportunity to be on that list. Mu Qian, she defeated the Crown Prince, Xianyuan Li Shang, who ranked first in the geniuses list. Naturally, she was invited to partake. I, P8 on this year's ranking. Mu Qian folded the letter and casually said. Send my reply to Yun Xinran, this lord is bored, so I'll play with them. Yes, my lord. Hey guys. Did you miss me? Of course not, is what you'll say, right? So thank you all for being patient with me. I feel that my English is kinda improving, or is it not? Well, just like I've said before, I'm no native English or Chinese speaker. These translations are all MTL, so if you don't want to read it, no one is forcing you. 3 anyways, gonna update this again, 'cause I have the time now. No regular days, but I'll update from time to time. Also, every time I include the yes, my lord here, I remember Sebastian Michaelis. Genius Rankings. Jinwatang is now hosting another compet. Tie-in, the Purple Kingdom's Genius Ranking. It doesn't matter if the person is ANO, Blee or not, as long as they're under 30 years old, they can come and partake. P8 on the said event. At this time, the most popular contestant is none other than the lord of the Mu clan, Mu Qianxi. The preparation for the preliminary is done, but the owner of the Jinwatang has received a certain guest. I want you to arrange me on a match with Mu Qianxi. What? You want to fight Lord Mu? The owner thought that the young lady would be beaten easily before. But now almost every contestant wants to avoid being matched with her. Never did he imagine that someone would take the initiative to ask him this. Jinwatang's owner said. Of course, I can. The woman's eyes flashed with resentment. Mu Qianxi, even if I lose, I won't let you go. On a sunny day, the preliminary round was set in Jinwatang. The top 10 on the previous list automatically qualifies on the next round. Naturally, Mu Qian, who defeated the first on the list, would be excluded on the preliminaries as well. The preliminary was very fierce. The second master of the Yu clan won and is now qualified to go on the next round. Brother, I pass, said. Yu Su eagerly said. Yu Zhe laughed. You did great. 29 people were selected to partake. P8 to the next round. The top 10 geniuses and Mu Qian arrived at the scene, and the lottery for people who will fight next already began. An unlucky guy saw his opponent's name and immediately wanted to cry. No. Why is my luck so bad? Mu Qian would be his next opponent. His ability is only in the 6th stage martial warrior. Compared to Mu Qian, he won't even last a minute. At the very beginning of the match, he directly gave up. Mu Qian's second opponent is Yu Su. Yu Zhe was thrilled. Little Su, good luck. On the arena, Yu Su looked helplessly towards Mu Qian. Mu Qian laughed. Yu Su, the last time we fought you let me do 3 moves first. This time how about I reciprocate your kindness and let you do 3 moves first? Yu Su said. Are you sure? You don't have to underestimate your enemy. Mu Qian said. It's fine. Yu Su, okay, I'll do it. Since Mu Qian said he can do 3 moves first, Yu Su, filled with confidence, is ready to seize this opportunity to land a blow using all of his strength. At the same time, Yu Su did not see the look of sympathy his elder brother is giving him. The gap on their strength are too wide. Even if leader gave him a chance to attack first, landing a blow is another matter. Here I go. Yu Su's body looks moved like a beast, rushing on towards Mu Qian. Boom! With a loud noise, Yu Su missed the target. Yu Su grits his teeth and said again. Another one. Boom! This is the last. I don't believe that my attacks would not reach you. In Yu Su's last move, he poured all his strength. It's a pity that the difference in their strength is too great. The purple figure flashed by. Mu Qian approached Yu Su and smiled. Little Su, the 3 moves are over. It's time to end this. Ah! Yu Su's figure flew outside the arena. The crowd was flabbergasted. Strong. The Mu clan's lord is getting stronger and stronger. First stage of Spirit Master, in the entire Purple Moon Kingdom, she is the first who reached that realm before the age of 16. It looks like she would take the first on the list this time. Mu Qian returned at her waiting area and said helplessly. It's boring here. There is no use on betting myself either, I can't even make money anymore due to the low odds. Jinwutang is getting on my nerves. Yu Zhe said. That's to be expected, many people are betting in you. If Jinwutang doesn't raise the bar on the other side of the bet, they would eventually go bankrupt. After 2 more rounds, 10 people finally reached the semifinals. Because of Mu Qian's entry, the previous 10th in place was kicked out. The other 9 people had maintained their slots. This time the fight for the Genius List ranking is overwhelming. Soon, the result for the drawing lots was announced. First match, Mu Qian against Ouyang Wei. Ouyang Wei once defeated the old Mu Qian and rendered her useless in the same arena before. The old Mu Qian's strength was inferior, and no matter what she did she couldn't win against Ouyang Wei. But now, Mu Qian's strength has improved in leaps and bounds, naturally the ending have been already guessed. Mu Qian glanced at Ouyang Wei and said. Do you want to go down yourself or would you like me to send you down? Ouyang Wei angrily said. Mu Qian. Don't be too proud of yourself. Do you really think you have won by now? Boom. At this point, Ouyang Wei's spiritual power erupted completely. The crowd was amazed. I did not expect that the eldest miss of the Ouyang clan has a hidden card left. Her strength must have been improved by a lot. Ouyang Wei's voice echoed on the raging fire. It burned tremendously until a lightning sword came out and fell from the sky. World Slash. TN, enter Dios the world meme. To deal with Mu Qian, it was necessary to land a stronger attack first. If this landed on her, the chance of her fighting back would be 0. Mu Qian waved her hand gently. Water shield. The lightning sword was blocked by the water. This is the gap between a spiritual master and a spiritual warrior. Miss Ouyang couldn't possibly win. Yeah, not everyone is as aberrant as Mu Qian. Just look at her speed of cultivating. Mu Qian's strength was beyond Ouyang Wei's expectations. Ouyang Wei gnashed her teeth. She is not willing to lose. I refuse to lose. Even if she died, Ouyang Wei would pull Mu Qian to Hell. Ouyang Wei flew towards Mu Qian Shi again. Mu Qian waved another water shield, condensed another qi and attacked the rushing Ouyang Wei. Scatter. Icicle rain. Ah! In the face of Mu Qian's attack, Ouyang Wei could not escape. Her whole body continued on heading towards Mu Qian Shi's direction. Ouyang Wei's clothes were torn open, revealing a fine gold armor. What the? It turns out she's wearing an artifact. Miss Ouyang is still approaching Lord Mu. Is she going to for a close combat? Ouyang Wei made a sharp wind on her palm. She closed the distance between her and Mu Qian Shi, and started to fight intensely. However, fighting hand-to-hand proves Ouyang Wei's abilities is still inferior. Ag! Mu Qian struck Ouyang Wei's back of the neck that knocked her out to the ground. Ouyang Wei struggles to get up, said. I haven't lost yet. Ouyang Wei rushed once more like a madman, attacking Mu Qian Shi again and again. With scars surrounding her body, how could Ouyang Wei just continue on fighting without a plan? Obviously, she had come up with a plan. There was a glint on Mu Qian's eyes. When Ouyang Wei attacked her a few more times, a colorless and transparent powder spilled out of her hands. The two were fighting close at each other, but as an alchemist, how could she miss such a thing? Mu Qian knew what kind of powder it is. Cheating her way to this match, Mu Qian will surely send Ouyang Wei to her death. Ouyang Wei really wants to die early, yeah. Oh make. Being seen Water Dragon Slash. Ouyang Wei's body was washed away by a blue dragon. Mu Qian's figure flashed, and when she was about to attack Ouyang Wei once again, everyone was surprised that the eldest miss of the Ouyang clan, who was always proud, suddenly said, I give up. Jinwatang's referee shouted, the opponent has given up, may Lord Mu step back. Right now, Ouyang Wei, who was stunned and fell on the ground, smiled and said, Mu Qian, you're so dead. Are you sure about that? Mu Qian raised her eyebrows slightly, gently moving her fingers, and then a small needle suddenly pierced through Ouyang Wei's skin. Ouyang Wei only felt a slight sting. She did not feel anything abnormal. She proudly said, Mu Qian, it won't take long for you to find out. Oh, is that so? Mu Qian bent down and whispered. But Ouyang Wei, playing poison with this lord, how naive can you get? Ouyang Wei widened her eyes and said inconceivably, how did you know? Ouyang Wei suddenly thought of something, and laughed maniacally, even if you notice it, it's too late. It's impossible for you to cure it. Mu Qian calmly walked down the arena. She smirked. That's why I said, you are too naive. Mu Qian returned to her room. Yu Zhe immediately ran to her side and asked. Leader. What did that Ouyang Wei do to you? How could she laugh like that back there? Nothing, it's just, at this moment, a dark figure inexplicably appeared inside the room. Icy blue eyes fell on Mu Qian and asked, what's wrong? Mu Qian said, it's a drug that stimulates Zul desire. Commonly, this drug has no antidote, unless, Yu Zhe was so angry. Ouyang Wei actually used such means in the compet. Tian. What would you do, leader? She said that drug has no solution. Mu Qian calmed down a bit, she said. Aren't you listening to me? I said this drug, commonly, had no cure. She took out a few medicine bottles, and then mixed several medicines together, then injected it on herself using a needle. She said. This kind of petty trick won't work on me. Yusei breathed a sigh of relief. That's good. Leader is really powerful, even drugs without solution can be solved by her easily. He glanced at the opposite room and asked, Leader, what about Ouyang Wei? Are we going to let her go just like this? A flash of cold light flashed in Mu Qian's eyes. Relax, she'll definitely be in a worse state than me. Poisoning the ghost doctor, Ouyang Wei definitely lifted a stone and hit her own feet. Tian, it means, want to harm other person, but harm oneself instead. Ouyang Wei, who had just been treated by a pharmacist, suddenly ripped off her clothes. Sounds of tearing filled the arena. Not only that, but she also entangled herself on the 50-year-old pharmacist, jumping on the poor man. Miss Ouyang, stop. Please conduct yourself. The pharmacist was almost frightened to death. He hurriedly pushed Ouyang Wei away, rushing forward to escape. Don't go. Ouyang Wei was already unconscious at this point, stripping some of her clothes. All the audience was stunned when they saw this scene. What's going on? What happened to Miss Ouyang? As soon as Ouyang Wei felt the breath of the opposite sex, she threw herself over. Give it to me. Boom. For a time, the entire Jinwatang was turned upside down. Ouyang Wei, who was almost caught, had cornered some people earlier. Seeing Ouyang Wei's luscious body, added the fact that not everyone is a gentleman, since this beauty threw herself to them, why bother to resist? Some couldn't help but took advantage of the situation. Ouyang Wei tore and pulled her clothes completely, and started to hunt prey like a wolf. There are a lot of famous and precious blessed that gathered here in the capital. Seeing Ouyang Wei's bold behavior, not only did she ruin her innocence, she even lost some face for her clan as well. Ouyang Ji, filled with fury, shouted. Ouyang Wei, are you out of your mind? Just calm down and don't embarrass yourself any further. Unexpectedly, Ouyang Wei pounced directly at him, and Ouyang Ji had to let the guards knock her out in order to take her back to their residence. After a good fight among geniuses, such an accident happened. Everyone is still shocked. In any case, the Tian must go on. The top 5 will be selected today. Ouyang Ji, who was depressed by Ouyang Wei's actions earlier, has long been distracted since his match. In addition, the person he fought was Yusei. Not only was he defeated, but his leg was even broken badly. Ouyang Ji said indignantly, Yusei, how can you act so cruel? Yusei retorted. If you know what your good sister has done to others, then you'll know I'm not the one who's ruthless. Yusei's eyes were cold. Ouyang Wei dared to set up a trap to his leader. If it wasn't for this Tian, he would definitely kill this Ouyang Ji. Ouyang Ji was carried out and the next 3 matches were set. The top 5 are Mu Qianxi, Yusei, Mu Ruyan, Xianyuan Qingyun, and Wen Xinran. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince, who was originally the first in the previous genius list, was unable to harm a single hair of his beloved woman, Mu Ruyan. He admitted defeat very quickly. Mu Ruyan, who looked distressed, said to Xianyuan Li Shang, this. I didn't intend to. Xianyuan Li Shang appeased her and softly said. I'm willing to lose to you, so don't feel bad, Ruyan. Whoa. Mu Ruyan kept crying. I won't let you down. For tomorrow's match I promise you I'll win and bring the honor back that should belong to you. Mu Ruyan clenched her fist. But Mu Qianxi is too strong. Li Shang said. Today, Mu Qianxi showed that she is stronger than when he first confronted her. He knew that no one is her opponent now. I know that I'm not an opponent for sheer but for brotherly, I'm willing to try. Alright. I believe Ruyan will definitely win. Help me clean up my name. At the end of Yusei's match, Mu Qian has already taken a stand and went home, she ordered. quickly prepare cold water for me." "Yes, my lord." Mu Qian stripped off her clothes and soaked her entire body to cold water. Although she took medicine to cure the drug, there are still signs of toxicity left. This can only be eliminated by soaking in cold water overnight. When Mu Qian had just stepped into the tub, the air around her suddenly became cold, and a man akin to a demon suddenly appeared inside her room. "Come out." He spit out those two words coldly. Mu Qian's mouth twitched. "Jiu Yi, I'm taking a bath." "How am I supposed to get out, huh?" Jiu Yi does not like anyone disobeying his orders, even if that one is the most special to him. Tn, this is one of his bad traits that I really don't like. Arg. The black figure flickered. Jiu Yi stretched out his hands to pull Mu Qian out of the tub. Crash. A lot of water splashed in the room. In front of his eyes, her skin looked like the highest quality of jade. Jiu Yi suppressed the emotion emerging from deep within. Mu Qian was truly ashamed of this iceberg's behavior. She didn't care how dangerous he was. She slapped him directly, yet her hand was easily caught by Jiu Yi. Jiu Yi is really annoying on this chapter. Like, dude. Come on. She's taking a bath. No, so no die. Chapter 114, Bathing Together, You. Mu Qian stared at him angrily. Jiu Ye's eyes fell on her flushed face. He said. "Wait for me to take off the mask before you hit again." His mask is invulnerable, no fire or liquid can melt it. It was made of the hardest metal under the heaven and earth. If her slap really hit him, it wasn't his face that would be swollen but her hand instead. Mu Qian was stupefied. This guy is so honest that she lost the mood to reward him with a slap. Jiu Yi. Close your eyes, otherwise I would really be tempted to poison you. What's with this person? He still looks cold and indifferent even when taking advantage of other people, which leave Mu Qian extremely helpless. This time, Jiu Yi really closed his eyes, took his robe and wrapped it over Mu Qian, taking her away. Mu Qian shouted. Jiu Yi, where are you taking me? At least let me get dressed. No need, besides you have to take it off later. Jiu Yi whispered. Mu Qian's hair was disheveled with the wind. What on earth does Jiu Yi want to do? She knew Jiu Yi doesn't have human feelings that normal human has. He's so cold to the point that she couldn't think she is interested in her body. Jiu Yi held Mu Qian and took her into his palace's backyard. It was a place shrouded in white mist. He gently put Mu Qian down. Mu Qian said in consternation. This is a cold spring. Earlier, Mu Qian decided to remove the toxicity by soaking in the tub the whole night. If you soak in this cold spring, it would only take half hour and your physique would also improve as well. Mu Qian said. Thank you. Soaking throughout the cold water all night can make oneself uncomfortable. Plop. Mu Qian jumped straight into the water. She thought the cold temperature might freeze even the blood. Mu Qian couldn't help but shudder, but it was still within the tolerable range. Besides, she successfully soaked in the spirit lake to wash the impurities on her body and survived after all. But what irked her most is not the cold temperature but the irritation before her eyes. Jiu Yi also undressed and walked slowly into the cold pool. His long ink-like hair slowly scattered down, and the water droplets radiates a crystal-like luster on his delicate shoulders. The water is very clear, and his body submerged under the water is captivating. Exquisite facial features, beautiful and alluring, even if his whole aura is coated with a layer of frost that no one can enter, it still can cause confusion. What an evildoer! Ah! Why did you come down? Mu Qian's voice shivered. To accompany you. Jiu Yi spit out these 3 words. With her perseverance, the coldness is nothing. Yet Jiu Yi said he stayed to accompany her. That is unnecessary. The water here is too cold. You should go back and wait for me to finish. Taking a bath with the Dashura prince is not for the faint-hearted. Mu Qian felt her heart is jumping out of her chest at this very moment. As a result, Jiu Yi only leaned himself on the side, looking so incomparably sexy, then gently closed his eyes, while disregarding Mu Qian's words completely. Mu Qian also closed her eyes, took a deep breath in order to calm herself. It was only half an hour anyway. Due to the unusual person beside her, Mu Qian even thought half an hour was longer than a night. The remaining poison in her body was finally cleared. Mu Qian felt comfortable all over, and she said cheerfully. Jiu Yi, I'm fine now, will you go out first or me? A splashing sound came. Jiu Yi slowly walked out of the pool like how he was on a flat ground. With perfect curves, slender legs, well-defined abdominal muscles, and snow-like skin, he definitely looks like a son of the heaven. Jiu Yi took a dark robe from his own SPCE, wrapped his sculpture-like body, and disappeared in front of Mu Qian like the wind. Mu Qian grudgingly said, I know you have a good figure, you don't always have to show it. Fortunately, this lord is not a man, otherwise you will be no longer chaste. Humph. Mu Qian's voice is very small, but Jiu Yi has not left at all. He heard her clearly. His icy blue eyes sank suddenly, and even a faint expression of pleasure flashed, and the corner of his mouth slightly evoked an arc. Mu Qian took out a spare dress from her water dragon ring and put it on quickly. She then went to Jiu Yi to say goodbye. I initially thought that I'll be busy detoxifying the whole night. Luckily, I got rid of it in the cold spring so quickly. I will now go see the situation of Ouyang Wei. For that kind of poison, Mu Qian felt that with only the Ouyang clan's ability it still wouldn't be enough. She felt uncomfortable that Ouyang Wei could come up with this kind of insidious trick. There is definitely a pair of hands behind Ouyang Wei, pushing her to dig a big hole for Mu Qian. I'll also go. Jiu Yi took Mu Qian and left the Night Prince's palace. As soon as they left, Mu Qian felt something was wrong. Jiu Yi, this is not the direction to go to the Ouyang's residence, that woman isn't there. What do you mean she's not home? Do you mean Ouyang Wei's family isn't optimistic on her condition that they really let her out on her own? Aren't they afraid of her running into some indecent men on the streets? After a while, Mu Qian and Jiu Yi went into a cold alley where Ouyang Wei is. Ouyang Wei is now surrounded by a group of beggars. Her breathing was ragged. A pair of hands blocked Mu Qian's eyes. Afterwards those beggars was turned into bones until they turned to ashes and swept by the wind. It's just that there is a very bad smell lingering in the air that makes Jiu Yi frown slightly. Sob. No other people was left apart from her. Ouyang Wei felt discomfort on her whole body. She then slowly crawled out of the alley. Ouyang Wei sensed a presence in front of her. Upon lifting her eyes, she saw the woman she hated. Mu Qian. Mu Qian, while cursing Mu Qian inside, she saw another person beside her. Night Prince. Ouyang Wei was truly terrified. Although her legs are now weak, she tried to run as if seeing a ghost. Ah! Ouyang Wei directly fell to the ground and could no longer walk. At this time, Mu Qian walked slowly to Ouyang Wei. Do you want to have a deal with me? Tell me who instructed you at our fight and I will let someone send you back to the Ouyang clan. Otherwise, if you continue staying here until morning, news would spread all over the capital regarding you tomorrow. Ouyang Wei shouted terribly. Who are you acting kind for? The reason why I ended up like this, isn't it because of you? You, tell me what you did to me. Mu Qian said. Remember the poison you gave to me? Naturally, I'll send it back to you 10 times stronger. But... you... why are you still okay? You aren't poisoned at all. Why am I the unlucky one? Why only me? Ouyang Wei saw Mu Qian's state, her hope collapsed. Did I disappoint you? Looks like my poison is clearly higher than yours. Mu Qian said faintly. I don't believe it. That's impossible. He clearly said that his poison can't be detoxified except with the help of a man. Your body would keep asking for men and would no longer live without doing it for the rest of your life. Chapter 115. A sudden bang resounded. Ouyang Wei's body directly flew out by the powerful force. Ack! Ouyang Wei, who was already weak, was continually coughing out blood. Her already fleeting life would have been lost if it weren't for Mu Qian. Jiu Yi truly wanted to turn Ouyang Wei into a skeleton just now. If he succeeded, Mu Qian wouldn't know about the person behind that incident anymore. Night Prince. You already did it with His Highness, right? Else, how could you easily solve the effects immediately? It turns out that you two are already in a close relationship. No wonder His Highness protects you so much, even your own clan. No wonder my Ouyang, my poor clan. Ouyang Wei's voice is cold. If she knew that Mu Qian and the Night Prince are this close already, she wouldn't dare lay a trap for Mu Qian, not at all. Not in a million chances would they dare cause trouble if they knew. If she states her reasons now, they would never buy it. It is too late for that now. Mu Qian coldly said. Tell me, who is that person? As long as you tell me, except for the other people who made a move like you, I will leave them without a scratch. It's dash. Ouyang Wei's voice broke, something was shot straight at her throat. Swish. Jiu Yi caught a black dart. Ah! Ouyang Wei screamed. A black bug broke through her heart and jumped out. She widened her eyes in disbelief and muttered. You! Why did you do this? Mu Qian quickly moved away, she said coldly. This disgusting grub. Squeak. Mu Qian took out a bottle and sprayed it on the grub, its body completely dissolved. On the other hand, the Sin, unable to escape from Jiu Ye's clutches, directly took poison and killed himself. Ouyang Wei is dead. Mu Qian's only clue was broken. Mu Qian said. There's nothing we can do here. I will go home first. I'll send you back. Jiu Yi followed Mu Qian and left. The next day, in the capital of Purple Moon Kingdom, Ouyang Wei's corpse was found in a corner. All kinds of rumors came out, making the Ouyang people unable to raise their heads while walking outside. Ouyang Ju, filled with rage, shouted. Despicable. Even if she died in a Ma's grave is better. How can she let herself be killed on the streets? How dare she discredit the family's name? Ouyang Ji hurriedly said. Father, it's not my sister's fault. It must be Mu Qian she who has done it. There's so many of us guarding sister before, how could she escape here if it wasn't for that and Mu Qian she? Ouyang Ju shouted. Imbecile. Mu Qian is now the fiancé of His Royal Highness the Night Prince. Who dares make a move on her would result in death. Is there any news on the Great Fire Sect? A trace of sadness flashed in Ouyang Ji's eyes. The Great Fire Sect doesn't want to fight against Xianyuan Jiu Yi. They're terrible. The next day, the genius ranking continued and the 5 contestants left were already present. Each person will play against the other 4 in turn, each win will count as a point. The person with the highest point will be ranked first, consequently until remaining rank is set. The first match is between Mu Qian Shi and Yuzhe. Obviously, when the match of the two was announced, one would know the result right away and so no bets were made. The absolute winner will be Mu Qian Shi. Sure enough, As soon as Yusei stepped inside the arena, he admitted defeat. You don't want to compete with your leader? Mu Qian asked. Yusei laughed. I don't want to fight, and I also don't want to be beaten badly by leader. Admitting defeat is my best choice. Since the other already said it. Mu Qian scored a point without moving a single step. Her next match is with Xianyuan Qinyun. When the man's name was declared by the arbiter, Mu Qian takes a good look at the person in front of her. This was the first time she saw Xianyuan Qinyun clearly. He was tall and handsome. His perfect moon-white silk brocade wrapped his lean body. His True's black hair was tied by a white jade hairpin, and his thick eyebrows looked like a crescent moon. Those eyes looked clear yet held no authority like other royalty does. A fine and elegant young man with indifferent eyes, just like a solitary orchid on a deadly desert. I admit defeat. This is his first sentence to Mu Qian. Mu Qian was taken aback for a moment. Yusei is considered as her little brother, and it was justifiable for him to admit defeat. But His Highness also admits his defeat without a fight. This is too unreasonable. Mu Qian asked. Do you mean it with your words just now? Yes. You are, Xiaozhou's fiancé, thus I will not fight you. He said lightly. His figure suddenly disappeared in the arena. Mu Qian froze. She felt that someone was misunderstanding about her being Jiu Ye's light. Mu Qian's first two matches ended smoothly. Her last match was against Mu Rian. Mu Rian slowly entered the arena. She smiled softly. Sheer, I haven't seen you for a long time. Are you okay? Mu Rian, don't spout nonsense things, let's hurry up and fight. Mu Qian made her move first. Someone wanted to use this genius ranking game to find an opportunity to kill her. Apart from Yusei and Xianyuan Qinyun, the only persons left were Mu Rian and the one who invited her to this event, Yun Xinran. Only after this fight would she have the time to properly investigate. If this is what Sheer wants, I must give my best too. Mu Rian said softly. Among the crowd, someone said. What do you think? Is there a chance Mu Rian would win? I heard that Miss Mu Rian followed a mysterious master and she hadn't been here in the capital for nearly a year. Maybe she has made a lot of progress. Let's just wait and see. Mu Rian turned into a white smoke, rushed towards Mu Qian. White mist surrounds the arena. Everyone was stunned. A spiritual element. Miss Rian also has an element. Xianyuan Li Shang looked at Mu Rian's shadow with pride. Rian's talent is the real deal. She who was rumored to be relying on elixirs has achieved this result on her own, not due to the things that Mu Qian spread just to discredit her. Mu Qian flew sideways to avoid Mu Rian's attack. An offensive water spell was already gathered at her hands. Mu Qian mercilessly attacked Mu Rian. Water Dragon Slash. At this time, countless white satin appeared, blocking Mu Qian's water dragon. Boom! A tremor sounded and two different forces confronted each other. Two figures both backed away a few steps. What kind of weapon does Mu Rian have? It can actually block the water element attack of Lord Mu. It must be more than a third-grade spirit weapon. There are not many weapons of that grade here in the whole Purple Moon Kingdom. Miss Rian actually got one. What blessing. This time the match is worth seeing. Although Lord Mu has water element, Miss Rian, who has the same level as her as well as having a 5th grade spirit weapon, shouldn't be weak. Everyone was excited. They all focused on the fight below. Ha! Mu Rian's figure moved and the graceful figure danced like a fairy princess, leaving the crowd in astonishment. What a lovely view! Mu Rian's figure became more and more blurred and the white satin and multiple murderous attacks came from all directions. Mu Qian stood at the center of the vortex. Her figure stood still, closed her eyes, muttering to herself. Is this an illusion? Chapter 116. It's never clear what Mu Ruoyan learned from her mysterious master. Now she's finally exposed. Mu Qian's fingers moved, and countless medicinal needles flew out in all directions. Her illusions couldn't confuse her, and she just happened to use the medicine needle to break the surface. Rip and pull. The needles cut through Mu Ruoyan's white satin. Her spirit weapon was a 5-grade spirit weapon, but the medicinal needles created by the senior alchemist, Wu Lao, were sharp enough to break through the 5-grade spirit weapon. There was no way for Mu Ruoyan to avoid the onslaught of needles from all directions. A.H. A painful scream was heard, and the white satin fell down, and the crowd saw Mu Ruoyan fall on the stage. When people saw Mu Ruoyan's miserable appearance, they all had a numbing feeling that Mu Jia's lord was really a ruthless character. At this time, Mu Ruoyan's body, hands and feet were pinned to the tournament stage by 4 medicinal needles of varying lengths that penetrated through the bones. The positions of the hands and feet were very symmetrical, not deviating 1 iota, and the alignment was really beyond reproach. Mu Ruoyan did not shed a single drop of blood, but her face was blue with pain, and her pitiful appearance made all the men present look heartbroken. Xianyuanli Shang roared, "Mu Qianxi, you are so vicious. Sister! Sister!" Mu Ruoyan ran out crying and was worried about Mu Ruoyan. These two people portrayed their affection for Mu Ruoyan to the extreme, leaving the crowd deeply moved. Mu Qian pointed at Mu Ruoyan and asked, "Do you want to go home and cry? As for you, Crown Prince, if you are still not convinced, you can go challenge this lord. Don't make a scene like Ask looking for trouble." Mu Qian glanced at Xianyuanli Shang and scorned him. Mu Ruoyan's face froze, and Xianyuanli Shang's face turned green. "Mu Qianxi, don't be too arrogant." Mu Qian languidly said, "Your Highness, your debts are still unpaid and the deadline is approaching. I don't think you want me to take anyone to the East Palace to collect them, right?" Xianyuanli Shang was speechless. For that debt he even sold a lot of things, but he still hasn't paid off everything. Now Mu Qianxi has even brought it up again, making him furious. "I don't need to remind you that Ruoyan is in urgent need of healing, so I won't talk nonsense with you first." Xianyuanli Shang hugged his sweetheart and left in a hurry. Mu Qian has won 3 games in a row, and there is only 1 game left. Mu Qian's last match was against Yun's young master, Yun Xinran. Yun Xinran, dressed in Hanfu clothing for scholars, slowly walked up to the tournament stage, and it was hard for the crowd to imagine that this seemingly scholarly and weak young man had made it to the top 5 in the young generation of the Purple Moon Kingdom. Compared to the royal princes and the 2 brothers of the Yu family, Yun Xinran's appearance can only be considered average. However, his elegant temperament, astonishing intellect, and high cultivation talent are very attractive to the women of the Purple Moon Kingdom, and has already become a role model for the young talents of the Purple Moon Kingdom. Mu Qian slowly greeted him, "Yun Xinran." Yun Xinran elegantly said, "It's an honor for me to fight with Lord Mu, and I hope Lord Mu will be more lenient later." A dark light flashed in Mu Qian's eyes. "If young Master Yun is unlike my previous foe, this lord will naturally show mercy, but if he is, what happens to Mu Ruoyan will also happen to you." Yun Xinran smiled faintly and said, "How could I be the enemy of Lord Mu? Lord Mu really knows how to make a joke." "Fine, let's stop talking and start the fight," Mu Qian said. Yun Xinran may not necessarily be the person behind Mu Ruoyan since she couldn't detect any murderous intent coming from him. "Good." Yun Xinran smiled readily and calmly. Suddenly, Yun Xinran's body was wrapped in a white light, emitting an aura that definitely did not resemble Mu Ruoyan's. The people's eyes showed astonishment. Although he was originally ranked 4th, they did not expect him to reach the peak of the first stage spiritual master already at his age. What a surprise, young Master Yun is only 18 years old. Yun Shinran enthused, if I want to win against Lord Mu, I have to do my best. Then, Yun Shinran's strength even increased once again, to the second stage spiritual master. Yun Shinran's power skyrocketed to the limit, and with a leap and a swing of his palm, he attacked Mu Qian. I didn't expect young Master Yun, who looked so weak, can make a wave aura so neatly and smoothly. The people exclaimed. Yu Zai's face paled. If Yun Shinran hadn't run into his leader today, they wouldn't have known that Yun Shinran was so powerful. Mu Qian didn't dodge, she even said, you can't even defeat me with such little power. Water Dragon Slash. The water dragon tore through the void and struck Yun Shinran. Yun Shinran's figure swept past, dodging the blow, and smiled helplessly. It seems that I really underestimated Lord Mu. He stood floating, and suddenly his palms transformed into somewhat thousands of hands, and a deep voice echoed. 10,000 Buddha hands. The hand of the 10,000 Buddhas thundered down, and even a third stage spiritual master had to dodge it, not to mention Mu Qian, who is just a first stage spiritual master. The power of the 10,000 Buddhas is so imposing, but Mu Qian found a flaw. Her eyes flashed with a light. Break it for me. The water drops turned into thousands, and Mu Qian's next move followed. Scatter. Icicle rain. The icy aura of water enveloped Yun Shinran, and Yun Shinran hurriedly dodged. Water Dragon Slash. But Mu Qianqi didn't want to give him a chance to breathe, and the attack came again. That water dragon attack is amazing. Boom. Boom. On the tournament stage, Mu Qian's attacks came one after another. The corners of people's mouths were twitching. Lord Mu's spiritual power is completely inexhaustible. It's too fearsome. I'm afraid the young master will be consumed alive. Under Mu Qian's chaotic attack, Yun Shinran was overwhelmed. He was about to concede defeat when suddenly a purple figure approached like the wind. If he tried to make any move, the cold and poisonous needles in her hand would be sunk into his lethal point. Yun Shinran's pupils suddenly shrunk. Mu Qian actually wanted to kill him. Boom! Under the threat of death, Yun Shinran's instinct to protect his own life allowed him to explode with his true strength. The violent spiritual energy bounced Mu Qian away, and Mu Qian's figure took a few dozen steps back in the air. The face of Yu Zai, who was watching the game, turned heavy at once. Third stage spirit master. How deep does Yun Shinran want to hide this? Everyone in the area was stunned. The young master of the Yun clan is really powerful. A third stage spiritual master under the age of 18 is considered one of the best in the entire snow continent in terms of cultivation. Why did he have to hide it so much? Chapter 117. Mu Qian said, so this is your real strength. Yun Shinran nodded. If Lord Mu hadn't pushed me so hard, Lord Mu could have easily won the compet. I, Tian, and gotten the top spot in the Purple Moon country's talent rankings. Mu Qian waved her hand. That's true. However, this lord prefers to beat you at your true strength in order to have a worthy win. Perhaps I will disappoint you, Lord Mu. Yun Shinran's figure approached Mu Qianqi with great speed, and slapped his palm with majestic spiritual power toward her. An opponent 2 steps above her struck with all his might, and this time Mu Qian chose to dodge, his spiritual energy shattering the tip of Mu Qian's dress. The situation was then reversed, and Yun Shinran, who had been caught and beaten by Mu Qian, was now able to catch up with Mu Qianqi. Lord Mu, you are the only one who has pushed me, Yun Shinran, to this point in the past 18 years. The corner of Mu Qian's mouth curved slightly. You want to win against me? It's not that easy. Mu Qian fiercely lifted her hand and countless needles flew out. This is how Mu Ruoyan was defeated. After the last battle, it became clear to them that Mu Qianxi's most lethal weapon was not her water elemental attack, but rather this bizarre small needle weapon, which was unstoppable. Even though the small needle attack was bizarre, the crowd saw the difference in their strengths. This small needle is powerful, but young Master Yun is much better than Mu Ruoyan. It's not that easy for Mu Qianxi to win. Someone said. Faced with the sudden appearance of the needles, Yun Xinran's face was very calm and the wind from his palm whistled, slapping away Mu Qian's needles. However, when he slapped the needles away, smaller needles flew toward him like rain, and Yun Xinran's face changed dramatically and he hurriedly dodged. This set of needles that Mu Qian had the Fire Elder create is multifunctional. It can save lives, it can poison others, it can attack, and it can be used as a hidden weapon for sneak attacks. Boom! Boom! Yun Xinran hurriedly dodged and finally hit all the fine needles away. The crowd was stunned, saying, "Looks like young Master Yun has successfully dodged this attack." Yeah. I guess. No, take a look. At this time, a man spoke out. People saw a trace of blood slipping down from Yun Xinran's fingertips and saw that young Master Yun was injured. It's just a small puncture wound, so it shouldn't be a problem. But as soon as the man's words fell, Yun Xinran's face suddenly turned pale. Puff! With one sound, a mouthful of blood was spat out and his lips began to turn purple. The ghost doctor's medicinal needles, after making even a small cut, can be fatal. The crowd was shocked. Whoa! Lord Mu won, even when young Master Yun's strength had increased to the 3rd level of spiritual master. Mu Qian said, "It seems that I have not yet won, as the young master has not conceded defeat." Mu Qian looked at Yun Xinran with a smile on her face, not missing his expression. Just at this time the master of the Jingwu Tang stepped forward and said, "As the referee of this match, I declare young Master Yun the loser. Take young Master Yun out for treatment." Although the master of the Jingwu Tang remained calm on the surface, Mu Qian could see the panic in his eyes. Mu Qian's expression darkened a bit. It seems that Jingwu Tang has a deep relationship with Yun Xinran. Otherwise, they would not have risked defending her by rescuing Yun Xinran in a timely manner. Humph! Mu Qian coldly snorted and walked off the stage. If he escapes this time, there is always a chance for Yun Xinran to show his true colors again. Mu Ruoyan lost her fighting power and so did Yun Xinran. The next match between Yu Zhe and Xianyuan Qingyun is much simpler without these two opponents. In the final battle, Yu Zhe faced Xianyuan Qingyun to take 2nd place. Surprisingly, Xianyuan Qingyun is also very strong. Mu Qianxi and Yun Xinran aren't the only formidable geniuses in their Purple Moon Kingdom. It was inconceivable that he had the strength of a 3rd-stage spiritual master. Faced with an opponent who was far superior to him, Yu Zhe decided to give it his best shot. He was already too far behind his leader, and if he didn't fight well, he would be pulled further and further away from her, which was definitely something he was afraid of. Boom! The two figures crossed paths with each other. During the battle, Yu Zhe frantically squeezed his own potential, and once again broke through to the 9th-stage spiritual warrior. He is still under the age of 17 and with such strength, he can also be considered a top talent in the Purple Moon Kingdom. Bang! But the gap of 4 levels was inevitable, and in the end, Yu Zhe was defeated by Xianyuan Qingyun. It is obvious, however, that Xianyuan Qingyun is very considerate towards the situation, and Yu Zhe was only slightly injured. Soon, a new list of talents was released. Mu Qianxi received 4 points and is in 1st place. Xianyuan Qingyun received 3 points and is in 2nd place. Yu Zhe received 2 points and was in 3rd place. As for the 4th and 5th places, after Mu Ruoyan found out Yun Shinran's true grade, she naturally did not dare to occupy the 4th place and had to give it to Yun Shinran. So young Master Yun still kept his old ranking. The Mu Jia residence. Mu Qian took the information about Yun Shinran, frowned slightly and said, "The investigation of Yun Shinran that I asked for, only got this little information." "Yes, Lord, I am incapable." Mu Er is very ashamed. Mu Qian waved her hand. "It's not your fault. Yun Shinran has been hiding the truth for so long, so it won't be easy to catch him. No one moves until the enemy does." "Yes, Lord." The top 10 talent ranking compet. Tian came to an end, and Mu Qian she took the top spot. No one in the entire Purple Moon Kingdom would say that Mu Qian she was a useless family head anymore, and the elders of the Mu Jia also felt much more at ease. On the other hand, one of Yun Shinran's elder brothers from the Pill sect, a low-level alchemist, came to the Purple Moon Kingdom to cure Yun Shinran of his poison, and also to cure Mu Ruoyan. This low-level alchemist not only cured Mu Ruoyan but also seemed to fall in love with the woman who looked like a fairy at first sight, and almost had a major fight with the crown prince over the beauty. Surprisingly, Mu Ruoyan also has a high talent for alchemy. Apparently, this disciple is going to recommend the beauty to his own master as a disciple and become his junior sister to obtain an opportunity of getting closer to her. Xianyuan Li Shang is already dying of depression, but he has compensated many treasures of the Mu family for the beauty, and if the beauty is SNTC head away by other men before he can get his hands on her, it would be a big loss, wouldn't it? In order to please the beauty, this alchemist has organized an alchemy exchange meeting at Purple Moon Lake. Anyone who is interested in alchemy can come to this event. He even invited the palace's chief alchemist, a man of mystery, to this event. He also boasted that he would someday be able to surpass the Medicine King. The news has spread very widely in the Purple Moon capital, and when Jun Mo she heard this news, he was so angry that he wanted to kill that arrogant and useless person at once. He approached Mu Qian and said, "Little girl, what is that exchange meeting? Do you want to come with me tomorrow to break it up, that punk? How dare he claim that he is better than me?" Formerly Danji Zhong, is now Pill's sect for easier reading. Chapter 118. Mu Qian is still very righteous and without further ado said, "Okay, let's go and break it up. I'd like to see what that so-called genius alchemist of the Pill sect is all about." The fact that the Pill sect and Yun Shinran are good friends made it possible for them to test the alchemist and perhaps catch Yun Shinran's foxtail. In fact, she was going to go there regardless of whether or not Jun Mo she came. The next day, the Purple Moon Lake was bustling with activity. A gorgeous ship was docked in the middle of the water, and countless blemen and ladies in gorgeous clothes were riding on exquisite bamboo rafts to the ship. They had no interest in alchemy, but they would never let go of the opportunity to get to know the disciple of a Pill sect. At this time, an elegant purple figure and a man in white clothing approached the ship on a bamboo raft and slowly walked on it. Seeing them, the face of the white-clothed maid who was in charge of serving the guests instantly went cold. "Mu Qian she, Our Lady didn't invite you, so hurry up and get out." As Mu Ruoyan's personal maid, too, Xiao Tao despised the Mu Jia's lord from the bottom of her heart when she met her 3 years ago. She believes that Mu Qian she mistreated their miss, and now that the miss is being fought over by 2 excellent men, her self-confidence has grown. So what if Mu Qian was the #1 genius in the Purple Moon Kingdom? Is she better than the alchemist who adores the miss? For such a little girl who doesn't know how to behave, Mu Qian won't be polite to her either. Mu Qian kicked her right off. "Good dogs shouldn't block the way. Does this lord need your permission to board her own ship? What more do I need from a little girl who doesn't know how to live?" Tao. At this time, a panicked voice came over, and many people came out and noticed Mu Qian and Jun Mo Shi beside her. What a pair of incomparably handsome man and beautiful woman pair, people can't take their eyes off them. Hurry up and save Tao, hurry up. Mu Ruoyan's face was white with anxiety as she grabbed Jing Lianghui's sleeve. Naturally, Jing Lianghui would not let her worry, and hurriedly let her hand go down to rescue the person, but the maid was already unconscious when she was rescued. Mu Ruoyan's fingertips were somewhat white and trembled as she walked up to Mu Qian, speaking pitifully, "Sheer, I know you've been angry with me, but it has nothing to do with Xiao Tao, so if you want to take it out on me, take it out on me, why hurt an innocent person?" She was like a white lotus that had been destroyed by the waves, and it was heartbreaking for Jing Lianghui to see her like that. Jing Lianghui said, "Mu Qian Shi, you are the head of a big clan. Bullying a weak woman, do you feel a sense of accomplishment about it?" A pink-clothed Mu Ruyun also rushed over and pulled Mu Ruoyan. "Sister, you should stay away from that tick woman in the future, or you will be badly hurt by her again." At this time, Xianyuan Li Shang and Xianyuan Li Tian also came out. Xianyuan Li Tian saw the man standing beside Mu Qian, his expression darkened. And this woman. She who hooked up with Yusei has another wild man with her today. This fickle and shameful woman. Jun Mo Shi doesn't know that at this time he was labeled as a wild man. Mu Qian Shi slightly raised her eyebrow, the corners of her exquisite mouth curved up in a wicked way, saying, "Then let me ask you, do you feel more accomplished by pleasing someone else's, used broken shoes?" Sheer. At this time Mu Ruoyan bit her lips in distress, revealing an expression of being heartbroken to death. Xianyuan Li Shang was angry. "Mu Qian Shi, you must not slander Ruoyan. There is no such thing as a sordid relationship between Ruoyan and me like you think." Mu Qian smiled and said, "It seems that the crown prince really can't do it anymore. I was sure the rumors were false." The crowd was stunned when Mu Qian revealed a big secret. They were shocked. The crown prince, he really can't do it anymore. Xianyuan Li Shang's face became fierce. "Mu Qian Shi, you are looking for death." If he hadn't been unable to beat Mu Qian Shi, he really would have wanted to slap her to death with one hand. "What's with the noise?" At this time, an old voice came over. A gray-robed old man appeared in front of everyone, and even Xianyuan Li Shang restrained his anger and respectfully greeted him with a shout, "Master Peng, you've come." This was the chief alchemist of the palace, Master Peng. As soon as Master Peng came, all the young men and women of the Purple Moon Kingdom looked at him in adoration. This master is usually not easy to meet, even if you want to see him. The pills sect has a large number of alchemists who can only concoct second-grade pills. If it weren't for his great reputation in the Purple Moon Kingdom and Ruoyan's admiration for him, he wouldn't even bother to treat the old man with care. Mu Ruoyan finally regained her emotions and walked forward. "Mu Ruoyan has met Master Peng, the exchange meeting is ready, Master Peng please come in." Master Peng didn't care about this delicate young lady at all, and if he hadn't heard that the genius disciple of the Pills sect was coming, he wouldn't have bothered to associate with these youngsters today. The storm just now, because of Master Peng's arrival, was automatically forgotten, and the people did not want to make a big deal out of it. One by one, they all wanted to enter the ship's cabin, but at this time, Jing Lianghui said, "Lord Mu, although your cultivation talent is decent and your clan is big and powerful, you don't know anything about alchemy, so I don't welcome you at this exchange meeting." Little girl doesn't know anything about alchemy. What a joke. At this time Jun Mo chuckled as if he had heard a great joke. If the little girl doesn't know anything, I'm afraid that this useless person must be a body. This cold and charming man is like a fine work of art. His smile can be considered as being able to overturn a country, making all the women look dumbstruck. Jing Lianghui replied, "What you mean is that the Mu Jiao Lord, apart from being rich, also knows how to do alchemy. Mu Qian said, so what if I do? What if I don't? Mu Qian pointed at the ship in front of her and said, this ship belongs to my Mu Jia. If you don't dare to let this lord in, I'll have this ship blown up later. Let's see if you can still hold some kind of alchemy exchange meeting then. The crowd was astonished. Mu Qian, she was worthy of being the head of the Mu Jia. It was too overbearing. Even the palace's chief alchemist was busy, hugging the young man's big thighs, but Lord Mu openly provoked him awe. Although Mu Ruoyan was removed from the Mu Jia, she obviously had no self-awareness at all. As soon as Jing Lianghui said he was going to hold the pill exchange meeting, she kindly asked her grandfather, the Mu Jia's great elder, to transfer one of the Mu Jia's best ships over. Jing Lianghui raged, Mu Qian, you're too much, too unreasonable. 1. Chinese idiom, visible sign of evil intentions, to reveal one's evil nature. 2. Her name's literal translation is Little Peach. 3. Literally means loose woman. 4. The meaning of this phrase is to signify someone trying to curry favor with someone else. You're tuning into the LoveLore Library YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.